the dial, turn it loud. Miami's pride, make us proud. CanesWear crew, you hear the crowd. Hurricanes ain't backing down. Every play, every score, raising bets and raising roar. Rocking orange, green galore. All for one and one for four. We got FTSN, taking names, winning again. Podcast fam, till the end. Tune in, now let's begin.
Hello and welcome to the CanesWear podcast on November 25th, Thanksgiving week. And the team is back. Rankings just came out. A lot of people, actually, there's some Canes fans that are relatively happy today. I know we're still behind Notre Dame. We just won our game 34-17. I know a lot of people wanted a blowout, myself included. I will say that last touchdown made me much happier. Unfortunately, it did not make Joey Galloway much happier because he still got us down for 10 points. The game ended, obviously, before we scored. And going to Joey Galloway, he's got a new system. The last score doesn't count in games. So basically, when we shut out North Carolina State 41-0, and Notre Dame had a tough time with them, Syracuse scored on that last drive against us. So it wasn't 38-10, it was 38-3. So we're going to go back and redo all the scores in college football since – obviously, we know it just can't be one game. Miami Hurricanes scored late. I mean, he must have had some action on that game because they lost the spread. But either way, the Canes are now ranked number 12. I mean, a few weeks ago, none of us thought we could be here. We were 18. I thought if we beat every team badly, we could move up. And the amazing thing, guys, we haven't even had all the other teams lose ahead of us. We've just been winning and moving up, winning. So when the head of the CFP says – that we are the team that moved the most, you can't argue with them. We've gone from 12 to 6. So in that respect, there's a lot of games this week that need to be played. There's a lot of opportunity for us to move up. There's championship week, the next week, where we can move up in that one as well. In fact, the ACC championship is even in play. But I think we're all going to agree the one thing that has to be done, the most important thing before we talk about anything else, is at 12 o'clock on Saturday, we got to bring our A game. With that being said, we have a great show for you today. Remember your comments, post them, or your questions, and we'll try to get to them. It may not be right away since we may be behind on the questions, so stick around and you'll get an answer. We're pretty confident that that'll be the case. Remember to like and subscribe to the FTSN network. Bobby and the guys do a great job of putting this all together, and we are sponsored by CanesWear. The CanesWear, the spot, Miami and South Florida fan shop. I'll let you in on a little secret. We do have 20% off today on apparel for all teams. We do have 20%, but I'm pretty sure, I'm hearing it from, that we're going to have a bigger sale on some items on Thursday, Thanksgiving, and Friday. And if you buy online, you're going to get a great sale. I'm hearing some talk of even 40% off Hurricane apparel for Friday and possibly Dolphin apparel too. And maybe even if you come to the store, even the more you buy, the more you save in addition. So we'll see. Stay tuned for that. We'll be announcing it soon. If you haven't downloaded the app, please do. CanesWear.com in the Apple Store and the Google Store. Also, please join our rewards card system. A lot of good things happening. So without further ado, I've got the legendary Mando man here. Lakers Canes. He's here. How you doing, Mando? And of course, I got Gio, the great Gio, that will bring all the information to us about anything you want to hear. What's up, guys?
Hope everyone's doing well. I hope Miami fans are feeling good about the ranking. I think it's best case scenario considering where everything stands right now. Everyone has the back and forth about whether Miami and Notre Dame are going to get compared with a head-to-head and whatnot. The committee says, oh, yeah, we started comparing them now. Bottom line is, like we've been saying for weeks now, Miami has to be number 10 for the at-large spot. And there still is movement possible ahead, though. There's realistic situations, not just optimism. So yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, what's going on, Brett, Gio, and everybody? 3 weeks ago, we were at 18, heads down, upset and pissed. And 3 weeks later, we've gone up 6 spots. And like Gio just said, I don't think we're not a long shot right now. I think we got a good shot. We're at number 12. And all these other scenarios we've talked about the last couple of days, it don't mean nothing if we lose Saturday. So first and foremost, you got to get after this freshman quarterback on Saturday at noon and just play all out. Had a little bit of a slip up in the run defense, but if Carson Beck plays the way he's playing, if Malachi keeps doing his thing, and the coaching staff keeps their foot on the gas the way they've been doing, I like our chances, and we'll go from there.
Now, Carson Beck is definitely,
Lights
there's
out.
always a player that people love to hate, and it seemed like Carson was the guy this year. They were, I think, after the Louisville game, they were hoping he would throw the rest of his passes all year. I'm not saying most fans, but some fans just want to see guys do bad. And he had that tough game against Louisville, even though we still should have won it. He had that less than perfect game against SMU. But the last few games, he has looked awesome. And now, granted, it's been lesser competition, but even his passes, even when we were winning against Notre Dame, against Florida, it seemed like he was throwing the ball behind guys. Now he's actually leading guys. Do you think he's getting better, or do you just think healthy-wise, because he was injured, or just something has changed?
I think it could be both things can be correct. I think it could be a little bit of both. Health-wise as well, the injury he was coming off of didn't have the entire off season either. Then now this back half of the year is playing his best football of the season. I think it all goes hand in hand.
He's running the ball too, which I like to see. And I know after the SMU game, everybody was screaming at the top of their lungs, get rid of Mario. We've got to do something. I'm still under the opinion that somebody made a phone call or spoke to Mario in person and said, hey, we didn't bring you here to run this vanilla offense. We bring you here to let your offensive coordinator coach offense, your defense coordinator coach defense. This isn't all about you. And he's completely changed. And I also thought the last play of it's for some reason Mario was the only guy that didn't think we needed to win by a certain margin. He just was running. What were you guys' thoughts when he was running the ball into the line? Before somebody, I think, called him up and said, what are you doing? We need a touchdown. So I just think someone had to say something, because how do you run the ball 3 times in the gut? The only reason we got another play is Virginia Tech kept calling timeouts. They weren't in the game. They had no chance. It was 10 points. So what was your feeling when Mario was running the ball into the line at the end of the game?
I think they just wanted to get the game over with. That's pretty much my sentiment on it when I saw that.
Do you think he didn't care about or didn't think points mattered? Because if we were right now, instead of 34-17, 27-17, I think they would have looked at us differently in the polls.
No, and it's sad to say, but that's what we're looking at now. If remember, we watched the whole game, but fans out there and stuff like that, they're not watching every play and every. It's style point. It's just crazy. If you don't go undefeated or have one loss, it's apparent that if you got 2 losses and you're in that fight for that 8, 9, 12 or whatever, and with a spot guaranteed for a G5, you're gonna have to. Because think about it, we threw the ball up 10 with 30 seconds left. Who's doing that?
Yeah.
So that's what it's come down to. You're forced for style points. It's ridiculous. But Mario, to his credit, he threw it at the end because 34-17 looks a lot. And look, that's how Galloway defended it or went against it today, saying that it was a meaningless touchdown. But it looks better for us 34-17 than 27-17, because then people can easily say, oh, you know what? They were a 17-point favorite. They were up 20-3 at the half. They let VT get back in it. Maybe they're not that good. And that's how the conversation starts. So good on them for throwing the ball with 20 seconds left.
I was very happy. I just was strange that we're ending the game. The only reason where the game is still on because they're calling timeout, and then he lets us go through the air and score. Yeah. I mean, what a throw, but what a catch by Malachi. I mean, he just went up to grab that ball away from the guy, Randy Moss-like. I mean, What a game by him. I mean, some people are talking about Heisman Trophy. I know he doesn't have it, but if he has a huge game against Pittsburgh, another 150, 200-yard game, total offense, throws the ball, passes the ball, it's hard to think that he's not going to get some consideration for some awards.
Yeah, he'll definitely be a freshman All-American. I think, you ask me personally, you look at the production of other slot receivers around the country, he's right up there with guys like Mekhi Lemon from USC and a few others. He could be in discussion for just the regular All-American list, whether it's like a second or third team All-American. he does have a case for it with his production to this point. And it's not just as a receiver. He's able to throw the ball. He's able to run.
Mhm.
I think, if anything, he's had 2 punt return touchdowns taken away from him with
Yeah.
some situations that happened along the way, guys running into him when they shouldn't, and he would have actually scored if they didn't. Or just, one of the great ones is I think it was the game against Louisville when they called back was it the Louisville game? I can't recall now. There was one they called it back, but they thought he waved it off, but he was actually catching his balance. Like, football players do this, like they kind of keep their balance up, and it's with your arm, but he didn't wave it over his head. It was just very low and subtle, but as waving it off as a fair catch.
So yeah, no, that was like in both of those games, Louisville, which we lost, we had the interceptions. I think the punt return was that game. It could have been SMU, but SMU also had the penalty when we scored a touchdown. Was that the SMU game when they took it away from us? We got the touchdown? SMU was the late hit after we had a chance to win the game. There was so many. I mean, we played 2 games that obviously we did everything wrong. We could have won the game easily. But either way, the Canes are right now 9-2. I think most people before the season started would have been happy with 9-2 at this time. I didn't know of anyone that said we were going undefeated or 1 loss. I think most people thought 3 losses or 4 losses possibly. So we got 2 losses. Hopefully we can win it out. It'd be the first time we talked. It seems like yesterday we were talking about this, Gio, that we haven't had back-to-back good seasons. We always do something. It literally seems like yesterday, and that was 12 games ago, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the past, let's say, 20 years, give or take. Miami, for the most part, they've won like 7 or 8 games on average. Haven't won 10 games back to back since the 2002-2003 seasons. So yeah, it definitely would be a feat for the program to be able to go out there and do that. I think it says a lot about the trajectory of the program going forward, considering how long it's been since doing that. I know people want the postseason, people want the ACC championship, whatever. Those things are still in play with several different scenarios. We'll get into that. But, I mean, I said it before the season. I said anything less than 10 wins is a disappointment. If Miami has 10 wins this year, it's hard for me to say that the season's a failure. Is it disappointing that, if they don't get in the postseason? Yeah, I think so. I think that was the ultimate goal, that you wanted to be in the ACC game or you wanted to get in the playoff. But 10 wins is 10 wins at the end of the day.
And not only 10 wins, going into the season, which we all know all too well, because after we lost to SMU, we were talking about this. People were talking about the SMU being over. Mario was 4-11, correct? In the ACC, or is it just in November, right?
In November and beyond.
It was
December.
4-11. If we can beat Pitt, which is still a bit an F, even though we are a favorite, we will be 4-0 this season, won't we? In November?
No, they would be 4-1 because that SMU game just so happened to
November 1st.
Okay, so that time we're 4-11. We'll be 4-0, so we'll move to 8-11. Not pretty, but a lot prettier than 4-11. And they've always, and every year we hear the same thing. As soon as the Canes lose, the whole team falls apart. The kids just give up. And if we can win this game, it'll prove that we're resilient. And I think fans will be very excited about next year.
Yeah, it'll be
the quarterback's going to be
20-4 the last 2 regular seasons that they win this Saturday. That being said, obviously, it'd be kind of like mixed feelings because earlier in the year we peaked at number 2 in the country, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been saying since early season, anything less than the playoffs would be a big disappointment. But I'll say this: it's funny how things work out because, and again, it's a shame to say, but ever since the SMU loss, this team is different. The offense is different. So to your point, I'm sure multiple people got in the head man's ear, mouth, face. They're playing different. If you're a fan of somebody else and now watching, because they're playing a crappy defense. No, you see Malachi under center or a shotgun or what have you. You see Malachi throwing. You see stuff you hadn't seen for 10 weeks. Yeah. So if this improves us going forward into next season and soon thereafter, then, hey, I guess the loss was for something. But maybe the way we're playing offense, you literally have to be perfect on defense, and you're not like last week. Our run defense was bad. Your defense isn't going to be the 85 Bears every week. You're going to have to chuck it and score some weeks. So SMU, we ran the ball 40 times. You know, I don't think we should have done that, facing a very bad secondary. So it was a loss that we took, and maybe it made us for the better the way we're playing right now, to be honest with you.
No,
well, funny thing you say that, Mando, because some Miami fans, maybe they didn't take this so well when Nick Saban mentioned it, but there's two things he mentioned along the way when Miami lost the Louisville game, then they lost SMU. The first one was, which came after the Louisville game, he said, I think Miami needed to lose. I think they needed to lose because there's some things that they have to learn about themselves as a team. Yeah, I mentioned that after the Louisville game. Like before the SMU game, I mean, unless he had the crystal ball to see that Miami was going to lose that game, he said Miami needs to get the ball to their playmakers out on the perimeter more. They don't do it enough. And sure enough, that very same day, Miami lost to SMU after those comments Nick Saban said. I think Nick Saban knows a thing or two.
May not like him, but he does know a little bit of football.
A tad. That's interesting because then, sure enough, that day they went out and they had countless pre-snap penalties, the late hit in the fourth quarter, like Brett alluded to. But we just ran the ball so much.
I'll tell you this: even Nick Saban had a comment, I believe it was within the last 24 hours, about the whole discourse behind the playoff committee's like bullet points and what they say about like, oh well, good loss is this, and good win, but they have a bad loss too. And Nick Saban was saying, this is ridiculous that so you're weighing it more if a team has a bad loss compared to a great win. They should get credit.
Well, that's where we're at right now. It's and obviously we saw Miami leap Utah, right? Utah won the game, but they gave up 472 yards rushing, so they dropped. So it's just the way it is. Right
Utah definitely ain't no playoff. No
and
playoff
I knew it. I know they're not.
Over 400 on the ground.
A lot of people told me you're crazy. They're not going to pass Utah because Utah won. I'm like, I'm telling you, Miami will leap them because they gave up almost 500 yards rushing to a 17-point dog at home.
Well, I don't want people to freak out. I mean, we'll talk about the scenarios because I've had them jotted down.
Oh, I know you have.
I've had it for over a week. I talked about it on Monday with Dono. I see people commenting here. They saw me with Dono on Monday on Locked on Canes. I'll discuss it here too, kind of what needs to happen moving forward to help Miami's positioning.
Right.
But it's very realistic. It's not some optimistic thing like, oh no, we gotta hope for all this or whatever.
They
just need one scenario from like 4 or 5 different teams. And then the BYU thing, I'm here to tell everyone, if you watched that Texas Tech and BYU game some weeks back, I don't care that BYU's getting a rematch with Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game. That's going to handle itself. BYU is not beating Texas Tech. The talent gap between those two teams was really evident when you watched it.
And the game is going to be in the Cowboy Stadium, which is going to be essentially a home game for Texas Tech.
So you think a BYU loss of 2 losses puts them behind all the other 2-loss teams?
Yeah. I think when BYU loses that, because a lot of people are talking about tonight, they're like, oh, but BYU's still ahead of us. Even if it stays that way another week, I expect it to handle itself. So I view it as, if Miami beats Pitt, hypothetically they are number 11 because I don't anticipate BYU beating Texas Tech in a rematch, and especially with what Mando shared, just AT&T Stadium in Texas, that's full on home game, absolutely. So the other scenarios are Oklahoma with their remaining game with LSU. Alabama's still got Auburn. If they beat Auburn, they're in the SEC championship game with Texas A&M. They would have to lose one of those two.
That's if A&M beats beats Texas, though, right? Because if
That
A&M
too,
loses,
yeah. 'Cause if A&M
yeah,
drops to Texas, you have a whole bunch of chaos with the
because I think
tiebreaker.
Georgia, yeah,
Yeah, the chaos with the tiebreakers in the SEC. I mentioned Alabama's situation, mentioned Oklahoma. There's two more. Oregon, on the other hand, they still got a game with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And Washington's not an easy team to play.
No, they're not.
They have some talent. They have a decent quarterback.
Mhm.
I have a lot of respect for Jed Fish as a play caller in general. I think he's a really good coach. I've said for months now, look, if the Gators wanted a realistic option, someone who I think could really revitalize that program, Jed Fish. He is a Steve Spurrier disciple, but don't listen to me. Just keep on making the mistakes in games. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, last one here is Ole Miss, the Ole Miss situation. So they played Mississippi State this weekend in the Egg Bowl. You have the Lane Kiffin's decision looming. That's going to be coming after that. A lot of distractions for Ole Miss. So there's still a lot of scenarios that need to play out. And then Miami needs a little help on their side too, that Ohio State doesn't lose to Michigan again for like a fifth year.
That'll be a problem.
And
No,
then-
the spread's only 7.5 in that Mississippi game, which is surprising.
Oh, we got to dodge a lot of bullets this weekend, don't we?
and you don't want Georgia Tech to beat Georgia, because if Georgia Tech beats Georgia, that's even more chaos for the rankings.
I was wondering about that game. Georgia Tech, Georgia. So yeah, Georgia has no chance to. Well, Georgia could play in the in the championship, right? But they would need Mississippi. Who would they need to lose?
Yeah,
They'd
but
need
GT's down to 23.
Alabama to lose to play in the SEC championship.
I'm not sure. I think
they need A&M to go down, so tiebreakers begin.
Yeah,
and I haven't looked too deeply into the SEC tiebreakers because every conference does it a little differently. However, Alabama, if they beat Auburn, they're in the SEC game.
All right, so we have a lot to root for. Obviously, there's this week, there's championship week, which will have a lot of things going. So, and there's going to be 2 more polls, correct? There's next week. There's a poll before the before the championship games, and there's a poll, and there's also a possibility if we beat Pitt, and a couple of teams lose, Virginia loses, we beat Pitt, Virginia loses, SMU wins, we're in. If we beat Pitt and SMU loses, and I think someone else loses and Virginia wins, we're in. So if all of them lose and we win, we're definitely in. And obviously, if we get in, we control our own destiny. I know people say we don't want to play in there. You want to be rested. But if there's a chance, it's like if there's a chance that we could be knocked out, we definitely want to play. So we win, and then we just hope everything takes care of itself.
Here's the scenarios for Miami with the ACC game. I still lean on the side that it's more likely for them to get in with an at-large spot compared to playing their conference championship game and getting in that way. But the scenarios that I have here is if SMU and Virginia lose and Miami wins, Miami would face Duke as long as Duke wins this weekend.
Can you imagine that? Mario against Manny.
Yeah, that would be funny. If SMU and Duke lose and Miami wins and Virginia wins, Miami would face Virginia. Now, if Virginia and Duke both lose and Miami wins and SMU wins, you would have Miami versus SMU in the ACC championship. I think a lot of Cane fans would want that scenario right there just for a rematch game.
I agree. There's a lot at play right now, and those teams could all lose. I mean, as I've mentioned many times, my son's a Virginia fan as he went there, and a Canes fan as well. But so he goes to all the games, and I think he said today 23 out of 24 games Virginia Tech has beat Virginia. I think it was something like that.
Even though Virginia Tech's not that good of a team this year, Virginia Tech
23 of the last 25 they've won. They're 23-2 Virginia, and they haven't been that good of a team in some years. I mean, Virginia won the year that they won the ACC, but anything is possible in that game. It is in Virginia. Anything's possible in any of these games. Miami could still be at 12 after this week, and they could be as high as 8 or 7 for that matter if everybody loses.
Yeah,
And,
there's no.
I mean, that's our luck. We'll get to 7 or 8, and we'll be, in a 7 or 8, we'll be there. Yay! And then we're saying, but we're playing in the AC, which is great. We're playing in the ACC championship, but it'd be nice to be locked in at 8 and not play in the ACC championship and have a home game.
Well, I'll tell you this. I would love another crack at it. I would love another crack at SMU.
I'm fine with an ACC championship game. I mean, as a businessman,
oh hell yeah,
everyone's buying a starter jacket. Everyone's you want to go ahead and. You want, it'd be great, but I'd be happy with a home game.
Everyone would be making a quick winter trip to the Carolinas.
Yes, that'll be exciting. Yeah. Let's see a show of hands. Who's going to the Carolinas? All right, so let's get to the comments. You guys, of course, we can add anything anytime. Gilbert was the first at 9. Son las nueve, I guess, is what's new, guys? Is that what that is?
No, he was saying that it's
9 o'clock.
It's 9 o'clock.
that might have been a jab, but sort of like ESPN, the show was supposed to start at 7, and it started like at 7:50 because of the college basketball.
Exactly. That's what I get at 3 years of Spanish at Miami Beach High. Okay, let's see. I love it when Gio says we're here, going to start in a moment. I think that was Gio. And is that a Cuban moment? Gilbert is all over with that one. Colorado Kane, welcome to the show. Colorado is in the house.
Oh, Jason.
It's going to be some cold weather all over the country this year. I mean, we're going to have a little cold front, but there's going to be a lot of winter weather. Yes, Rich Millennial, Joey is a straight hater. What do you think? What do you think about a shirt with his face on it? Maybe with the Jordan look or something like that, and says "hate much" or something like that.
No, because I mean, it's one thing to be like, okay, I get it. He went to Ohio State. Maybe that's a big part of it, but he's like openly like blasting. It's crazy, man.
They scored a touchdown late. It's really 10
That
points.
Was a 10-point win.
It's very simple. Joey Galloway doesn't like Miami. I'll put it to you this way: at least Booger McFarland, who has never really been on Miami's side in the past. If you watched,
he's been objective. He's objective.
He's been very objective, and he's been on Miami's side this year with certain scenarios and everything. At least he's objective. I think just Joey Galloway is a straight up hater.
Oh,
yeah.
He is totally. Let's see. The anti-Miami propaganda continues. Well, they hate us because we're in Miami. No, because Miami, they definitely hate us. Alvin Hanley, do you have a Malachi Tony jersey or shirts? We do have the jerseys coming the week. I know I keep pushing it back, but it will be after the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll have Malachi in a couple of colors, and we will definitely have those. Gilbert Reyes, 6 hours to Pittsburgh from my doorstep. It's 78 in my living room. Decisions. All right. Rich, good evening, gentlemen. If we win but don't make the ACC championship, SMU close loss doesn't look so bad. Is that enough to push us past Bama, Oklahoma, or Notre Dame? We touched on that. What's your answer on that, Gio?
Let me read it very well. If we win but don't make the ACC championship, SMU close loss doesn't look so bad. That's very true, especially if they win the ACC. Is that enough to push us past Bama or Oklahoma? I don't think they're naturally going to push Miami ahead. One of those teams has to fall back. Like of the scenarios I mentioned of either Oregon, either Ole Miss, either Alabama, I always forget the fourth one every time, or Oklahoma. Either one of those 4 teams just falling behind. I'm not concerned about the BYU thing because they're naturally going to play Texas Tech again. I just don't see them beating Texas Tech. I mean, if you watch their previous matchup, it looked like you ever did the old saying of like how big brother beats up little brother or whatever, and it's just not a fair fight. Basically, that's how that matchup looked some weeks back. So,
I originally thought it would matter. Originally, I've been saying every single week that it mattered. That if we do everything we have to, we will pass Notre Dame. I'm unfortunately not as sure now, but we need to go out and give them a Syracuse type beating than Notre Dame, because that seems to be what people care. People are more interested in how bad they beat Syracuse than us beating them. That's all that matters. Look what they did to Syracuse. Like Syracuse had anything to play for.
There's also been discourse from the Notre Dame side of, Jeremiah Love, this and that. He's done this and this and against each team this week and that or whatever. And I put a comment the other day and I said, yeah, and what did he do against Miami? 10 carries, 33 yards.
Exactly.
Really big impact, right? I mean, he's a phenomenal talent. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not, but it's just, it's like their fans. I even remember going into that Notre Dame game, just the discourse they were saying before they even played Miami. They said, "Oh, Jeremiah Love's a generational talent."
Generational was the word.
Yeah, it gets thrown around too much. They're saying, "Oh, we're 8 deep at defensive tackle." No one in the country is 8 deep at defensive tackle.
Yeah, you remember that? They had all the lines. Them and the Gator fans seemed like they were similar. They were cut from the same cloth.
Absolutely.
Juan Manuel Ventura 8203. Is that a new name this time? I think he's.
Yeah, I think he changed his username.
I think it's hey, you guys drop it of nowhere. Juan Manuel, we did say last show we were going to be back Tuesday after the bowl rankings. So, but thank you for joining us. At least you found us. What if Alabama gets blown out in the SEC championship game and BYU keeps the close first Texas Tech? A 9-3 Alabama should not be in if they lose the SEC championship.
I absolutely agree. 9-3 Alabama coming off a loss. I don't care if it's conference championship. They should not be in. A 3-loss team like that should not be in. But, we'll see what the agendas are with the committee when it comes to the scenarios. Now, when it comes to the BYU thing, I don't see them willfully wanting to put 2 Big 12 teams into the playoff unless BYU just manages somehow to make that upset over Texas Tech. I don't see it happening. I'd be shocked if BYU really makes that a game. I think Texas Tech's going to beat them up again.
B Rabbit, shout out to Gio and Mando.
I see you, B Rabbit.
I see you, B Rabbit. I'll say this though, and I don't think either would happen, but I would say a 3-loss SEC runner-up Bama gets in over a 2-loss BYU because, simply put, name brand.
Yeah,
Alabama, BYU. Yeah. It's that simple. Eyeballs on TVs. That's just how it works.
Exactly. It's all about money. Let's face it. Let's say we win Saturday. What do you guys think about a head-to-head Notre Dame versus Notre Dame in the playoff, Gio? I love it.
I would love for them to rematch because their fans have claimed several times to me. I mean, their fans have gone to literal war with me on Twitter. It's insane. They search up my account just to fight with me.
I'd rather see a head-to-head Notre Dame Miami in the Orange Bowl the following week.
Yeah, so
the Orange Bowl game, I should say.
I'd love to see it happen because they're so sure of it. They say, "Oh, we beat you guys now," whatever. Same thing every Miami fan heard from Florida after Miami handled them. It's just it's always so easy to say that afterwards. Say, "Oh, we'll beat you if we play you again." No, the game was already played. You lost. Yeah.
You guys didn't know that next Tuesday on the rankings, they're going to also add a Gio versus Notre Dame fans portion to the program. It's been like must-see TV on the
it's been like
guys.
A steel cage.
They got to call it like 1 versus 1,000. Like I'm just going up against thousands of them just coming in droves trying
They're
to
fight. Coming like cockroaches.
I'm telling you, like the other night, the wife, she's like, "What's so funny?" I'm it's just Gio quote tweeting Notre Dame again. Honey, go to the kitchen.
and somebody said it. Some national person said. I remember reposting it. Said, a lot of people don't want to see Miami, and they're not going. They're a team that isn't. They probably not going to go out easy because we really have very little flaws on the team.
Yeah. Oh, I said it last week. If I'm a 6, 7, or 8, I don't want to see Miami in the way they're playing. No way. Like not right now. Not the way they're playing.
Great news. 9:28. Duck is here, everybody. Welcome, Duck.
The Duck.
All right. Juan Manuel. Hey, Gio. How is the health of the team on defense? Nobody hates Carson. He just reminds us of TDD when he doesn't do well. Okay, so how's the health on the? I don't think he's anything like TBD, but
the health on defense is fine. I know Mario said that that OJ should be fine at some point. I don't think OJ plays this game. I know David Blade's closer to returning back. The stuff with Keontae Scott is very much week to week type of stuff. If there's a return there, it's optimistic that it would be postseason if Miami gets the postseason. So we'll see. But for the most part, they're not too banged up.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, we have had 2 out of the last 3 games we've given up a lot of yards rushing. We gave up like 170 to Syracuse, even though we shut them down. technically basically shut them out almost with that. And then we gave up all these yards against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, but I'll be honest. I think a little bit of that is by design, and the reason why I'm going to say by design, not so much the Virginia Tech game. I think some lapses there from the defense, but it's really weird to see a team down by several scores and they continue running the ball rather than passing. And I think it has a lot to say about the deficiencies of the opposing team.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Jake, welcome to the show. I'd love to see Narduzzi lay down like Fraud Brown just did, like Fraud Brown just did, and tell the CFP and ESPN to swallow his Sunny D.
Damn.
Yes, I love all the people with the scenarios. Obviously, it is a different one, but like the Syracuse laid down, exactly what he said. It's like it is too funny how that works. But I would love to see that Pittsburgh do that.
I was laughing more at the Sunny D part.
Yeah. Who made the call to Mario? Was it the deep state? Now, if Juan Manuel, are you referring to the call at the end of the game? Somebody called him and said, "Hey, do you realize we have to win this game by we need to?" It's no longer about winning or losing. It's about style points and eye test. Those are the two words. Style points and eye test are the words of 2025. Al Davis used to say, "Just win, baby." In 1984, he came out with that line, "Just win, baby."
Yeah, now it's style points.
Now it's style points. Did your game pass the eye test?
Style points, baby.
Yes. Callie Kane, welcome to the show. All the hypotheticals is hilarious for us. We have to win, and we really can have these conversations. But until then, Miami has to smack Pitt. 37-15 or better for Miami and a win. I agree. We need to smack them. I know I was texting Mando and Cliff on the game. I was just so angry when we gave up, the big lead. We should have destroyed them in the second half. I, for one, thought our chances are very limited until he scored that touchdown late. It was really pissed off Joey Galloway, so it was a 2-for-1. But I agree. We need to smack them. But like Mando says, Pittsburgh's not a bad team. They just whooped up on Georgia Tech. But I do think we have to come out and beat them like Notre Dame.
Miami's only favored by 6.5 right now.
But we got to beat them like Notre Dame did. What was the final score of Notre Dame game against Pitt?
They beat them by like 20. I don't remember the exact score, but they got them somewhere between 18 and 22 points in there.
So we got to be in between 23 and 450. All right? Lay the points, baby. Good evening, gents. Left from Dade. Welcome to the show. A1A Kelly Kane. Interesting how they put Pitt at 22, the same rank they were when they were facing Notre Dame. I was happy to see Pittsburgh ranked again, and SMU. I mean, it's like something got into these guys because they could have easily left those teams out and said, "Oh, we didn't realize, we forgot about them." But there's two teams ranked: the one we're playing, and the one that that beat us.
Hey, give Pitt credit. They came out in that first quarter against GT, and they were blazing from the jump. That was a crazy first quarter.
I have to say, when it was 28-7, I took Georgia Tech Mando on the money line at 10-1.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
And I just said it was there, and I couldn't pass it up. I mean, I wanted Pitt to win the game. I was glad to give away my money. It's one of those things, it's like I want to lose. I do that a lot. I want to lose. Okay. Gilbert Reyes, Galloway is a douche. That actually could be another shirt we can make. Thank you. I know we'd sell that one. Galloway is a douche. Left from Dade, style points until what Notre Dame did to Cuse.
Yeah.
Yep. Mario is the Fred Flintstone. He runs the offense with his feet, like Fred Flintstone powered his car with his feet. Yabba dabba dabba do.
Yabba dabba do.
That is true. But I will say, I've been very happy the way he has done. Let someone else do something, because he's getting Malachi more into the offense, doing other things. But
wouldn't Mario, just what everyone says about the meathead football or leather helmet football?
Yes.
Gio loves that.
Wouldn't he? Yeah, I love the phrase leather helmet football. It's so good. But wouldn't he be Bam Bam from Flintstone? Just bam, bam.
That would totally be him.
See, that's messed up, because now when I watch the game Saturday, I'm going to picture Mario on the sideline with that club in his hand and that.
Bam. That is what he does. Yes.
Brett, you should see the images that come up in some of the group chats we have, because AI is so dangerous now. So when Miami was running the ball a lot, there was I mean, there was crazy pictures of Mario, but one of the craziest ones I saw, they used AI and dressed him up as a caveman with a club.
That's the first thing I thought of when he said "damn," like a caveman. Me, Mario, come with me. It's all in fun, Mario. It's all in fun. We appreciate we run the program. Yes. To the second back-to-back 10-win games, 10-win seasons. Absolutely. David Levitt, Malachi will go down in history as the greatest Miami Hurricane ever. That's kind of strong. We all thought Amon Richards would too. So let's not push the heart.
This kid is fun to watch, man. He is.
Hopefully, well, he's just amazing to watch, and I think he should get some some Heisman votes or somewhere.
I think they were both great in their own right. Different types of receivers. Amon, an outside guy. Malachi playing a lot of the slot. Just even multiple positions too. If I had to, I mean, I wouldn't say as fast as a guy like Santana Moss, but like the type of impact he puts on games, very strikingly similar to that.
Very good point. Santana Moss, excellent point, who had quite the career in the NFL as well. 818 Cali Kane, I believe the defense needs to show out and shut down the offense of Pitt. An absolute domination like what we had versus NC State. Miami has to leave, no doubt. Notre Dame versus Stanford is tricky because it's late.
Yeah.
Stanford, I don't think Stanford's going to give them a game, but that is a rivalry. I think those teams have played.
I wouldn't rush so quick to say that, Brett, because you know it's funny how things get ignored by Notre Dame fans. Notre Dame was in a 12-7 game at halftime with a 1-10 Boston College team, but every week they trot out their fans. They say, "Oh, but we have gotten better throughout the year." No, you have not gotten better. You've played worse teams throughout the year. You are like basically when you've played two teams with a pulse this year, you couldn't come out on top on either one of those.
And they've had some close ones with Stanford over the last couple of years, so you never know.
But the question is they've played so many they've played worse teams than us. How is their strength of schedule better than us? I can't figure it out.
7 out of the 11 teams they've played this year have all been at 500 or worse. And actually 5 of those 7 all have like either 1, 2, or only 3 wins this year.
Yeah.
So how are they a better strength of schedule?
It's as simple. We talked about BYU and Alabama earlier. If their name wasn't Notre Dame, would they be number 8, 9 in the country right now? Of course not.
No, I don't think
a lot of it is, and maybe give them some credit. That's their name brand. That's who they are. They're Notre Dame. There's Alabama's, Notre Dame's, Miami. There's names that
they should join a conference.
But as it is, there's how many 2-loss teams right now? 10.
You got Miami, Alabama, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. But Oklahoma, a little while ago, the guy asked, I believe, asking if we would pass Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama. Oklahoma wins, they're in. Nobody's passing Oklahoma. It's crazy to say, but they won at Alabama. They won at Tennessee somehow. But if they win,
however, I will say though,
Oklahoma, they're fraudulent. Yeah.
Yes, Oklahoma this year, they are the reverse 2024 Miami Hurricanes. They have super stout defense. That defensive line is really good with guys like R. Mason Thomas and David Stone and the other, the Samoan kid at D tackle, they got really good guys up front.
They're tough.
Defensive line. However, that offense, I don't care what people say about John Mateer, this and that. And yes, he had the hand surgery and everything. Their offense is dreadfully bad. Like that defense is carrying them through the season right now. Their defense is really why they beat Alabama. That's really the reason why.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's definitely interesting. But we are right in the middle of the 2 teams. So of the 2-loss teams, we're what, 4th in the 2? Only Alabama's ahead of us, Oklahoma's ahead of us, Notre Dame, and then us. And then there's several teams behind us also. So I'd like to say that they're looking at us negatively, but they're not looking at us as bad as they have sometimes in the past.
Well, some people thought that Vandy was going to pass us. So look, I didn't think
a lot of people thought Vandy's going to pass us.
I didn't think that would happen.
I didn't think so either.
I didn't see that happening. And the reason why is because people talked about, they really put the beating down on Kentucky. It's a 5-win Kentucky team.
But is it
Like,
going to be week to week? If
Kentucky
you beat a team bad, you move up. We beat them by 17-0. You move up 7 spots. I mean, it's like every game. It's like the eye test. It's like, who are you playing? When are you playing them? A team. It doesn't make any sense. But I will say Notre Dame knew that style points meant something. They knew more than Mario knew that style points meant something.
Oh, what they said last week when they played Syracuse, before their own offense touched the football once, they were up 21-0. Whether they scored via defense or whatever happened, 21-0 before their offense got on the field.
That's crazy. Lou from Dade, I finally figured it out. Lou from Dade just sucks in such a bad year in the ACC that we won't play in the conference championship. I wouldn't be so sure about that. A lot of things can happen on the rivalry week, and I think that we have a better chance than people think. I think if we win against Pittsburgh, when we win against Pittsburgh. Juan Manuel, I think the refs beat Miami versus SMU. It went to overtime because the refs' calls. No doubt about it. And the refs' calls in this game were pathetic as well.
Yeah. I got into a debate about that with some people the other day, and I said, look, no matter how bad Miami played that day, it is a fact they got screwed over with the officiating. It absolutely is.
I mean, the touchdown that we scored against SMU, the defensive touchdown, that was completely that they called the guy down. I think it was, wasn't it? Wasn't that the play in the backfield?
Yeah, the fumble. Yeah.
I mean, terrible calls.
The
interference.
The interference. They picked up the flag for it.
It's like, oh, there's a flag. Oh no, there's not. Nobody say anything here. Nothing to see here.
There's nothing going on here, and then there's flames in the background.
Exactly. Let's see. Robert Jason, welcome to the show. Gio, enjoyed your appearance on Dono a couple of days ago. Gotta hope Alabama loses for sure. Hard to count on much else. We must start fast against Pittsburgh. I'd like to see Thomas safety blitz. Thomas got hurt this game. Was he okay?
Mario shared afterwards that the x-rays came back negative. We'll see. I think it's going to be one of those situations where they'll make a decision at game time, just coming off of the injury from last week.
10-2 will feel a lot like last year. I think 10-2 is better this year, actually, because last year everybody thought with Cam, it was a big opportunity squandered. Not that they don't think so this year, but everybody come in the store. Everybody talk, we're never going to be good. If we couldn't win Cam, we can't ever win. We'll never win without Cam. So if we go further this year than last year we did with Cam, that shows a lot about the team because he was the single best player on the team. And if he was there this year, I know I hate to play that game, but can you imagine where we'd be?
Yeah, well, and here's the other thing to that you're mentioning about just like Miami's finish and everything. You got to hand it to those kids and the coaching staff that they didn't mail it in even after, like, just is dreadful that the loss that happened to SMU. Really shouldn't have lost that game despite the officiating and everything else. They shouldn't have lost, but they haven't mailed it in. And you have seen this happen with so many Miami teams in the past that they would have an emotionally draining game like that, and then they would be flat for weeks. The last Miami team that I could recall that has been able to bounce back like this, it was 2016 under Mark Richt. They had that few game skid in the middle of the year, and then they rattled off a whole bunch of wins in a row. They won a bowl game.
Four wins, 4 losses, and then 4 wins, and then the bowl game. So we were everybody wanted Rick gone because we lost 4 in a row, which is the worst losing streak we've had in years. You're right. We won 4, lost 4, won 4. 100%. Great call.
That's when they beat West Virginia in the bowl game, right?
Our only bowl game in about 120 years. Right. Let's see. Rich Millennial, I totally agree with this. This is the best comment of one that I was thinking about. Funny how the bad loss narrative changes once SMU was ranked. Meanwhile, Notre Dame's best win is a 3-loss team. Great point. I didn't hear one time from anybody that said Notre Dame has better losses than Miami. That it was off the table this time. Did anyone else notice the guy at the end, whatever his name is, Humbacker, or what's the guy's name from the head of the committee?
Yeah. So now he admitted that Miami, Alabama, BYU, and Notre Dame are in the same quote unquote
tier. We're 9 to 12 now.
Tier, whatever you want to call it. So, okay. So why are they above Notre Dame? It's crazy.
Why is BYU even ahead of Miami right now?
Exactly.
You compare BYU's resume with Miami, it's not close. It really isn't.
Yeah. The only way BYU stays ahead of Miami is if they beat Texas Tech, which I don't see happening in the Big 12 championship. That's the only way they stay ahead of Miami.
This is interesting. Old Kane 2234, welcome to the show. Can't keep playing on offense at a snail's pace, limiting our possessions. We had 7-minute time of possession advantage and only 2 more plays than VT. If that's the case, that is crazy. 7-minute advantage and 2 more plays?
To Miami's credit, though, they did score on 6 out of their 8 possessions that they received in that game. So I have to give them credit on that they definitely made the most of it.
All right. Mullet, the Duck, Utah never came close to giving up 300 plus and 250 plus like Jalen Phillips and Manning. The North Carolina game where I think they're still scoring touchdowns.
I think the running back is still running. I think he's still playing football today for the Broncos.
I've said before that is the single worst sporting event I have ever been to live in my entire life. That bar none. Because of the result, it's my team, and that was the COVID year. There was nobody in the stands, and there was no liquor in the stadium allowed. I'm telling you, it was a nightmare. It was the worst 4 quarters of my life. It was a nightmare.
That is too funny. I didn't realize that. New King God, welcome to the show. If Texas Tech actually tries that game, and they both may decide to make sure it's a close game, and they both get in. I'd like to think that in practice that may be in theory, but that will not happen in practice.
BYU with 2 losses is not staying above anybody. Sorry,
and Texas Tech has 1 loss also, right? So there's no guarantee there's going to take 2 teams no matter who loses that game. Miami just needs to win and let the chips fall where they may. Rob Dukes, great to hear from you. Welcome to the show. 100% correct. The good news, we play at 12. There is a game the previous day, right? On Friday, Thanksgiving Day.
There's plenty of games on Friday.
Yeah, plenty. That's for anyone old enough. One of the first Friday night games I remember, Oklahoma against Nebraska. Johnny Rodgers, again for Nebraska, ran one of the greatest games. If you haven't seen the highlights, look up Johnny Rodgers, Nebraska. He did everything. He was like a Malachi Tony in that game. Wide receiver, running back, kickoff returns, everything. So have you guys ever seen the Johnny Rodgers game against Oklahoma? It was the early 70s? Yes. Amazing game. It reminded me a little of the Anthony Davis game when Notre Dame was up 28-0 and came back and won 55. USC came back 55-28. Anthony Davis had 6 touchdowns.
Most of the audience right now is Googling Johnny who? Johnny Rodgers.
Exactly. Manuel Ventura. Is he like Giancarlo Stanton? He's changing his name to Mike? Or from Mike to Giancarlo? Juan Manuel Ventura. I think it may come down to Alabama losing in the SEC championship game. So a 9-3 Alabama versus Miami 10-2.
I'm with him because a lot of people are going looking at Miami versus Notre Dame. I unfortunately don't see us catching Notre Dame. I think Alabama is the ones that we need to be looking at. Either lose against Auburn or lose in the SEC championship game against a Georgia or A&M, whoever it may be.
Robert Jason.
And obviously, you would need BYU to lose also, of course. You need BYU to lose.
There's a lot of games in play. There's 6 or 7 games that could go in rivalry, could go either way. Like you say, Mississippi State, nobody expects, except for the team is checking out. And we know for sure if Mississippi State loses that game, Lane's checking out, and they're not getting in the playoffs, which is great. So there's a lot of teams that can fall. There could be a lot of movement in next week's poll.
Yeah. If everything else goes the way it's supposed to, the way for us to get in, barring an ACC craziness, would be, again, for Alabama to lose and BYU to lose to Texas Tech. That's it. That's all we need to get in. We would leap Alabama and BYU, We'd be at 10. That's all we need, correct? Whether you get the G5 in there or not. That's all we need. We need Alabama to lose one of the last 2 games and BYU to lose to Texas Tech. I don't think it's that far-fetched at all.
Well, but there's other plays. There's Ohio State, Michigan.
Oh no,
Michigan has
no.
won the last 2
And
or 3 games, and
and
Ohio
that's why
State's been favored every year.
that's why I just said that barring if all holds true. Now, yes, if Michigan beats an Ohio State and craziness like that happens, that changes things up. But I'm saying if everything holds to form, that right there is all you need to get in. You don't need 5 things to happen.
Well, you're right.
You know,
But I'm going to be greedy, Mando. I want it all.
you hear that, baby?
I want it
You
all.
want it all.
So what Brett is saying is Brett wants.
He wants a home game. He wants a
Yeah,
home
no,
game.
he wants. This is what Brett wants. Brett wants Oregon to lose to Washington. He wants Oklahoma to lose to LSU. He wants Alabama to lose to either Auburn or Texas A&M. And he wants Ole Miss to drop to Mississippi State and for BYU to get smacked by Texas Tech again.
If Oregon loses to Washington, are they out of the top 12?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
You think so?
12? I don't know if they're out of the top 12.
I think there's a very strong
After
chance.
that good game against USC.
I think there's a very strong chance they get dropped.
Because I'm going to say Oklahoma.
Taking.
Obviously, I'll be cheering for LSU, but Oklahoma should win.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon at Washington is a tricky game. That really is an interesting one. And I mean, you guys sold me a bit on VT and Virginia. That's another one. Virginia's no juggernaut. I mean, VT could even win that game. Why not? I mean,
yeah, VT can win. That'll only be for ACC championship.
There's a lot of moving. Starting Friday, there's a bunch of like Friday night. A&M and Texas.
Can UCF help out the guys a few hours away and beat BYU? They beat somebody pretty good, didn't they? So can they beat BYU? Can BYU be looking ahead? Say we know UCF was a national championship a few years ago.
BYU is a 17-point favorite. Utah was a 17-point favorite this past weekend and should have lost.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out should have lost.
So there's a few games, and I do think Auburn. I don't know what the spread is. I checked that spread on that game. Auburn, Alabama. Auburn has a new quarterback. The kid threw 6 touchdowns last week, and they're bringing in the other guy.
I'm telling you, don't go by Auburn's record.
Exactly.
Don't ask me why. I've seen a couple of their full games. Auburn is not a pushover. They should have beaten Georgia. I'm telling you that the refs and them were terrible in that game. They barely lost to Missouri. They go up and down their schedule. But Auburn is not – that's not going to be an easy game. That's going to be a tough
They
game.
have talent, actually. Yeah. Auburn actually is a talented team.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert Jason.
Almost beat Oklahoma.
They did. I think they could beat Alabama. I mean,
Auburn
it's such a rivalry. Is that game in? Is that game in?
It's in Auburn, my friend, and it's a night game in Auburn. It's gonna be
that rivalry is very much like the Miami-Florida State rivalry in the essence that even if one of the other teams could be bad, there's always the possibility
of course.
Absolute shock. Remember the year that Alabama was great, and that was the one that went to the last second kick, and he returned it all the way.
Punt,
Smack made a great shirt. We sold so many on eBay at that time.
Alabama can't run the ball.
You got a second neck. Yeah, Auburn is. We'll see what happens. We'll keep our fingers crossed. That's for sure.
But obviously, that game at night means nothing if we don't win. So I love that we play early in the day. We play early in the day Saturday, so we know where we'll stand at 3:30. Well, either our season's over or let's start cheering for everybody else.
I will say this: I don't think so, but if something happens and we were not to win that game, I don't want to jinx it. I will not watch another second of college football.
I'll be pissed. Because the kid's been playing well, but you're playing a true freshman quarterback. He's 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got one of the best defenses in college football. Let's just smoke these guys, man. Let's win this game. Let's just win it.
Brett, no one I know, or the media saw you on with 3 or 4 losses. No one. It was mainly 10-2 with losses to take your pick: Notre Dame, UF, FSU, and unbelievably BT. Well, I did hear people that thought there could be 3. I didn't know many people at all that said we'd only lose 2 losses. I may be wrong. I may have been crazy, but I don't know. I don't know that everybody thought we were going to lose 2 games.
I always felt Louisville was the trap game for Miami that I felt that they could drop because
damn Friday night.
Some people were trying to convince me before the season. They're saying, "Oh no, but Gio, why don't you want to say 12-0?" And I told them, I said, "No, I don't think Miami's mentally ready yet to be a team to run the table. I just don't think so yet."
I think everybody always thought Virginia Tech and Pittsburgh. You don't have Pittsburgh on there. That was going to be tough, especially since Pittsburgh beat us in 2017 on the last game. Everybody thought that Pittsburgh was going to be tough. Everybody knows that most people thought we'd split Notre Dame and Florida. We'd split them. We'd figure out a way to lose to one or two bad teams, or the teams that were not as good as us, or we believe. But either way, hopefully we do get to 10-2, Robert Jason. And I am going to be the happiest guy in the world if we're in the playoffs. Auburn going to beat Bama. Robbie Dukes, I believe that as well. Auburn is going to beat Bama. Okay, Brett. Brett, need that CanesWear shirt. All right, Rob, message me after that, or if you place an order, let me know, and I'll make sure to include one in there. Okay.
Nice.
Rob's been a customer of mine since the warehouse days. Robert
Awesome.
Jason, you gents deserve more likes. Thank you very much. Exactly, like the show, post the show. Last time we had like 2,500 people watching this in the first 5 or 10 minutes. So we do have a pretty good following, but we definitely thank you, Robert. Please, guys, like it, subscribe to the FTSN network, and go ahead and repost the stream. Tell your friends. We try to do things a little bit differently here. I think last check there was 6.8 billion Canes podcasts running every week now.
I was like, where's he going with this? What?
The mind of Brett. It's just running all over the place. Thank you, Rob Jason. Carl Diama 305. Notre Dame has one win versus a Power 4 team with an over 500 record. They played nobody. Of course, their metrics look good. They played the worst teams in each conference.
Yeah.
Carl Meyer 305. Totally right. I mean, but nobody cares about that. Like, where's Joey Galloway with the 1-10 Boston College? I mean, it's amazing that anybody can phrase their argument.
Here you go. I got the numbers right here. 1-10 Boston College, 2-9 Arkansas, 2-9 Purdue.
My God.
3-8 Syracuse, 3-7 Stanford, 6-5 NC State, which I'll give them some credit for because NC State actually took down a pretty good Georgia Tech team, and a 6-4 Boise State, which I think Boise State was still playing their game that night, so I don't know if they won or lost. I got to double check, but I mean, it's not the Boise State that of the Jared Zabransky to Ian Johnson with a statue of liberty.
I love that. That was great.
Yeah, or the double pitch to the end zone.
Yes, that was great, that play.
It's not those Boise State teams or the Ashton Genty Boise State last year. It's not that type of Boise State. So, yeah, there's definitely some debate there. Like, who the heck have they really played most of the year?
So they got USC, which is a three-loss team, and they've got Pittsburgh, who's a 3-loss. Is Pittsburgh 3 losses as well, right?
Yeah. Well,
can you just run over our schedule?
Miami.
Can you run over who we played? Because I still can't figure out how they have a better strength of schedule, how they have better metrics.
Yeah, I would have to look into that further.
So we'll check that later.
Together.
All right, Juan Manuel, why wouldn't we want GT to lose to Georgia? If we beat Pitt, who beat GT, that beat Georgia. Go Rambling Wreck. I agree with that. I think Georgia Tech beating Georgia is not the end of the world. I really want that. I just think it strengthens the ACC conference, and it makes us look better that our team, Georgia Tech, beat Georgia. I think it's better that it makes the ACC look better. I don't think Georgia Tech's going to pass us either way if we win.
No, they're at 23 right now.
They just lost to Pittsburgh, and we just beat Pittsburgh. I mean, assuming we beat Pittsburgh. RQ 5304, Brujeria solves the issue?
Brujeria. Brujeria solves the issue. Brujeria is it's kind of like witchcraft, I guess you could say it, like translated to English.
/ voodoo, I guess, or is that?
Yeah.
Listen, if you want, there used to be Ask Jeeves many years ago. Now there's Ask Google, there's Ask Siri, there's Ask Chatbot. Now there's Ask Geo.
Ask Grok. Ask Geo.
Geo, I'm just going to start a thing. Ask Geo. If you want to pronunciate something, you ask Geo.
Or when one of the people in the comments say they want to ask about recruits, you're like, ask Geo.
Ask Geo, exactly. Ask Geo. They're making the new I'm thankful we haven't had a recruits. We had a
Hey,
great recruiting
hey,
week. We
Mando,
flipped
what do you
like
think
four
with that
guys
2027? Hey, Mando, what do you think with that 2027 linebacker? I never asked you.
left. What do you think of that guy in 6th grade?
Yeah.
1 milligram is appearing on the show. Thank you for joining us. Team in the top 10 won't drop out of the playoffs with the championship game lost. They don't want to penalize teams playing in it. It'll devalue the game, they're too profitable. I think
They don't want to.
I think if a team does lose, they will be. But I do agree with you, though, 1 milligram. I hate to see teams penalized for that, because if that's the case, I said last week, why can't teams say, I choose not to play?
Now, I'm going to say this again.
I
It
don't
all
want to
depends.
play.
Yeah, but it all depends who you are. And again, a lot of this is, and that committee gets on that table you see before they announce the teams. A lot of it's remember, these TV networks pay billions of dollars.
In Alabama, let's just say
Right.
Alabama
And that's why I
they
said
know they can
earlier,
lose.
if you do common sense, a team with 2 losses should always get in over somebody with 3. But if it's Bama with 3 and BYU with 2, you think ESPN and the people in that committee want BYU in? No. They want eyeballs watching their games. They want Alabama in. Trust me.
It is also something. It is a banner or a trophy you get. You get to wear the shirts. I just ordered a ton of ACC. Not for jinxing us, guys, but I wasn't ordering before. But I just called my rep at Adidas and I said, "Wait a second. There is a possibility. Can I still get in on this?" He said, "No one's ordered them yet. Why not?" So I did. So he said today is the last day officially. So you know what? You have to. People will wear the ACC champions. That banner will be in the trophy room at the Hecht or wherever. So it is nice to win, and it'd be nice for the Hurricanes, especially, to finally get that. I could see us win the national championship, and all we hear from these ACC guys is, "But you haven't won the ACC championship yet." I don't care about your 6 national champions. El Rico 88, Michael Irvin. I don't know who I hate more right now, Notre Dame or the CFB playoff committee.
As somebody who despises Notre Dame since I was like 10 or 12 years old, I think I'm going to say the committee, because you saw the chairman do the 6-7. I almost broke my TV. I'm sorry.
When they asked him that question, and he said yes. We asked him which one. He said yes.
You're like, you're the chairman of the college football committee. You're doing a 6-7. Get out of here, man.
The good news is he put his Utah team behind us. That's probably why.
I will say, give him credit for that. So that could have easily put Utah. So that's good. That was a good job.
Yeah, there's not too many people looking at him like a Utah. Like, who wants Utah in the playoffs anyway? Are we tuning in? Weren't they in the national championship? Was that them against, or was that TCU against?
No, TCU blowout city. Yeah, TCU.
Yeah. Trey Hendricks. To be honest, I definitely don't want to play SMU, especially with no Keontae Scott.
I would love to play SMU yesterday. Bring on SMU.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1 milligram. Hurts losing Scott. Is he? There were injuries. We were hearing Fletcher was out for the season. We were hearing other things. Is Keontae done if we get to the playoffs, or we're not allowed to talk about it?
It's still kind of up in the air. It's one of those things where it's week to week, and it could technically flare up again and whatnot. We'll see. It's a little similar to like the injury that Damari Brown had last year, so they want to take some precaution.
Especially since he's what year is he? He's a freshman, Keontae?
No, he's senior. It's last year.
Juan Manuel Gio, what happens if Virginia loses? Who besides Miami is worthy of playing SMU?
Also in the discussion there would be Duke, with how these tiebreakers work and whatnot. So, like I shared earlier, I have it right here. If SMU and Virginia lose, Miami would face Duke. If SMU and Duke lose, Miami would face Virginia. This is obviously assuming Miami wins their game over Pitt. If Virginia and Duke lose, Miami would face SMU. So those are 3 of the scenarios there.
So basically, we need to understand we need 2 of those 3 to lose. Is that correct?
Yeah.
2 of those 3 teams? Okay.
2 or 3. El Rico, now that we are in the same pod, you see, the Hurricanes and the Dolphins are together now. Now we're in the same pod with Notre Dame. However, us beating them doesn't matter, but efficiency, they continue to make excuses for head-to-head.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, they didn't mention the head-to-head. They mentioned about Notre Dame had better win, it looked better. Now it was the eye test. Now it was they destroyed Syracuse. Forget the resume the whole year. They destroyed Syracuse. Forget that we totally outplayed Notre Dame.
So that's a good catch there, because that was the word I was looking for earlier, because I noticed they didn't say tier. He said pod during the broadcast, because last week it was a tier. Now we're in the pod. Like,
I missed the pod thing. I just like the way a pod sounds, you know. I once rented one of those to be outside my house. I was expecting a dolphin to be in there. Dolphins.
The same pod. Like, geez.
Colorado Canes report from Denver. It is 28 degrees. I'd love to.
We're three peas in a pod.
Degrees.
3 peas. Yeah. Exactly.
There you go.
And I'm a big Edamame fan. Is that the way you pronounce it? Ralph Lopez. If UVA loses and SMU wins, Miami still needs Duke to lose. Why?
I don't think
tiebreaker. Is that one of those tiebreakers?
I don't think we need Duke to lose in that one. But there is another one that we need.
Well, no. Well, we just don't we need 2 out of 3 to lose?
That's they would need Duke to lose as well. That has to do with how Duke's it's their conference opponent.
Some tiebreaker.
Conference opponent win percentage record, and technically theirs is a little bit higher than Miami's.
So let's look at it. SMU plays at Cal. Cal just fired their head coach, correct? So, yeah. Duke is home to Wake Forest? Is that right?
Yes. So Duke plays Wake Forest.
Okay.
SMU plays Cal, which I think is the least likely of these. Cal just fired the coach.
I agree.
And then Virginia plays Virginia Tech. So I think SMU is the least likely of those 3. And then, I mean, Wake Forest, they've surprised.
Playing good
this year. Yeah. I mean, you think Cal can beat SMU? I mean, Cal just had a good game. They beat somebody.
Yeah, but the only thing is they just literally fired their head coach.
Yeah,
I think we won the game after we fired Al Golden.
Lateral game. Damn, Al Golden catching a stray tonight.
The lateral game Al Golden was not the week before. This lateral game was on Thanksgiving. I was at Steve Feinberg's house, I remember, and everybody was going crazy. Everybody was going crazy, and I just the lateral. It was that was one of the most iconic plays. That was the coach. Can anyone name that coach? The coach after Al Golden, he was here as the interim coach.
Larry Scott.
Wow. Much better than I could have figured it out. Good job. I know Mando.
His brother played defensive line for the early 2000 Miami teams as well.
Yes. Galloway is a hater, Rob Dukes, and I have to believe right now he could be the new public enemy #1 for Miami Hurricane fans. He is
him and Joel Klatt, because Joel Klatt has us ranked like behind Texas and shit.
I know, but any guy that's saying we really only won by 10 when we won by 17, we really only won by 10.
You know what it is, Mando? Joe Klatt still hasn't gotten over that.
Oh, the interception.
What was it? Was it John Beason or Leon Williams? One of the two.
Somebody just
drove right into the ground after a pick.
I mean, I loved when I think Emmanuel put him in his place, Galloway, right? Were they on the same show?
Emmanuel?
Who's the Florida State guy that's on the
EJ Manuel. EJ Manuel.
Yeah, so he what's it called? He was putting him in his place. But really, just any guy that's bringing up that, anyway.
Yeah, because I forgot what other 2 teams they were talking about on the show last week. Then EJ goes to him. Also, now head-to-head matters. And then Joey was like, oh, what in this instance it does. I forgot what 2 teams he was talking about. But so they pick and choose their battles. You know, that's pretty much whatever. Bullshit.
Let's see. The kid Javi, damn, my boy is a fellow high tide. High tide for life. Anybody know what he's talking about? I do, obviously.
Miami Beach high tide.
Absolutely. Fellow high tide, kid Javi. Absolutely. Great time for sure. I'm guessing we went at different times, though.
Pretty famous alumni, too, for you, Brett. I know a few people that have gone to Miami, to the same school, actually. Barry Jackson and Nevin.
Years younger than me.
Barry Jackson and Nevin Shapiro.
Nevin Shapiro. Me and Nevin Me and Evan had a long conversation about that. He knew, and I was mentioning guys like I said, when I played baseball and Chucky Kelly, I don't know. He was like so excited talking to me about the old times. But absolutely, there was some really good alumni. Actually, one of the guys played in the national champion, played for the Hurricanes in '83. That was our superstar. All of a sudden, I forgot his name. For better, if you're watching the show, I'm sorry. I always know it. I'm thinking. 1 milligram. Why don't we see Jim Phillips out there lobbying for his highest ranked team? Oh, yeah, because he's incompetent. And the ACC is a garbage conference.
Yeah, he's not far off the mark here. Why does the ACC begin with promotional material after the rankings started to release? Why weren't they doing it beforehand? Why were you not trying to prop up your best teams? And the same thing happened last year.
Yeah, now they just put out a post, I guess, on X. It was about Miami and things like that. They're throwing it. That's the ACC, whoever's running that account. But I don't know. To me, doesn't it a lot of money to the conference if a team that's in the playoffs?
Yes.
Is it just so? Why are they not trying to push for Miami? They're obviously the team that has a chance to get there. Obviously, whoever wins the ACC has a chance, unless it's Duke may not. If Duke wins the ACC, we may not get a team in the ACC in the final 12. Correct?
Yeah. If Duke were to win the entire conference, that could absolutely be a scenario.
Which would be kind of scary. And if instead we're just going to give Miami the worst calls in the world. We're going to try to take every game away from. We're going to try to review plays for 20 minutes after they happen. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Let's see. Yes. So 1 milligram. The ACC is a garbage conference at times. Brett, are you guys going to get the sweatsuit outfit that the Canes wear during pregame and postgame at all? It's the hoodie and the sweatpants. I know we have some really good hoodie and sweatpants coming. That could have been a fall season. If you want to send that to me on X or something and send me that picture, Callie, that'd be great. And I can take a look at that and let you know. If you can message me on that one. Robert Jason, the Canes need to be disciplined, not get baited into silly penalties. Jerry Magdalene's crew needs to be in another state.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not done us any favors for sure. Ponders 14, welcome. No one's talking about the possibility of Notre Dame playing with their food against Stanford. Interesting if that were to happen. If head-to-head starts to matter at that point. Gio, can you interpret that for me?
Yeah, so Notre Dame has a late-night game with Stanford because of the time zones and whatnot. And what happens if they're sleepwalking through that game? What happens if it's closer than it should be? Does all the comparison conversations come up again, or is it just ignored?
It's ignored. We know it's ignored. Whatever the narrative. Joey Galloway said, I was sleeping at that time. I didn't see the game, and wire services were broken in my house. OG Kane, welcome to the show. The hatred for Miami has been embedded since the 80s. I like that word. Embedded since the 80s. No gray area. You love Miami or you hate Miami.
That is true.
100%. We're like the Yankees. I mean, we're like, you could say the Patriots at times. You either love a team or hate a team. So 100% correct. Great call on that. Hassan, welcome to the show. Gio, Brett, and Mando, I never thought there was anyone more annoying than ACC refs or Fran Brown. But damn, Joey Galloway takes the cake.
Oh, wow.
That dude is the most annoying Miami hater ever. 100%.
Oh, this has been going on for over a decade with Joey Galloway. He's taken little shots at Miami for years. I'm surprised Miami fans are picking up on it now. I guess more of it has to do with just national perception now and Miami being in playoff discussions. So
yeah,
we haven't been relevant forever. That's why nobody cares. Unfortunately, it's a testimony to this program and what Mario is doing. 1 milligram, we're making a big deal of the playoff rankings. Meanwhile, Miami has the opportunity to do the most Miami thing ever on Saturday.
He has a point. Yeah. Imagine if, I hate to say this because some people have joked about it in group chats me and Mando are in, but someone said earlier today after the rankings came out, they said, oh, so it would be the most Miami thing ever if Miami could get some of those scenarios you're bringing up, Gio. If Oklahoma or Oregon or Alabama or any of those teams ahead to lose, and it's realistic. But what if Miami loses too?
Exactly. Yeah.
We're all concerned about that one. That's for sure. Considering 2017 and other times, but
yeah, 17 and last year, we know what happened last year. You lost 2 out of 3 to end the season, and that heartbreaker up in the Carrier Dome,
leading 21-0.
You got an opportunity this Saturday. If they don't pick you for the playoffs, you can't control that. But you can win your last 4, go 10-2, go 20-4 your last 2 regular seasons. You can control winning or losing Saturday, so they got to win this game. They absolutely have to win this game Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. If BYU beats Texas Tech, that will eliminate both Notre Dame and Miami.
I don't know if they would eliminate Notre Dame with that scenario.
I don't know if it'll even eliminate us because there's a lot of games that could happen this week. There's a lot of losses. I mean, Alabama could definitely lose.
Yeah, but definitely if that were to happen, we'd be on life support. That team cannot win the conference. If BYU wins out, we're pretty much screwed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then LSU, LSU can easily beat Oklahoma. Mississippi Mississippi can lose to Mississippi State.
Oh, this weekend's going to be – this Friday, Saturday is going to be crazy. There's a lot of stuff.
There's so many opportunities. I mean, the last 2 weeks we really haven't got any help. A lot less help than I thought. 2 weeks ago, I thought we were getting.
2 weeks ago, we did. We had Virginia lost and Louisville lost.
There was only ACC games that mattered. Yeah, they were still ahead of us, but at the same time, none of the other big games that we thought. And we thought Oklahoma, Alabama, that was, and Oklahoma and Alabama had that game.
Well, I guess if you look at it this way, in 3 weeks, we've gone up, 6 spots from 18. So on average, that's 2 a week. We just need 2 more. We're right there, man. We're right there.
I feel good about it, but I'm concerned about the game. But I think if we win the game, I think we're going to get it. I've said from the beginning we're getting in if we win out and we show with some style points and we pass the eye test, Mando.
I want to see us finally break that hump of this cold weather nonsense and all that.
Correct.
Well, I'm interested to see the game go because Pitt played real well last week. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun matchup.
Even if we don't make the playoffs and win out, we still have back-to-back 10-win seasons, something we haven't done in a while. Look at that, Mando. OG Kane and you were saying the exact same thing.
I mean, and it's crazy because all season I've been telling you it'd be an absolute disappointment and failure if we didn't make the playoffs. Now, things happen. But I'm worried about Saturday first. All these other scenarios don't mean shit if we go out there and lay an egg on Saturday. So I'm worried about winning on Saturday first.
Gio, what's this new Dash thing? Does everybody have a code or something like that now?
I'm not sure.
And so it's anyway. Gio, don't worry about Notre Dame fans. I saw on Twitter that I have your back. They're idiots, most of them. Block me after correct. Most of them block him after correct doses.
It's funny because Gio posted something about I think that we were now number 12, and the first reply was a Notre Dame fan. Pitt 27, Miami 17. These guys are idiots, like stupid, man.
They're the same people that said we're losing to Virginia Tech also. Ralph Lopez, most Miami thing, Auburn and LSU win, but Miami makes the ACC and loses to SMU. Oh, my goodness. That would be a killer.
Jeez.
OG King would beat FSU, that beat Bama, we beat Notre Dame, and we not better than Alabama, Notre Dame, or BYU. It's comical.
He's got a point. Miami's got a great opponent over Alabama too.
Great call. Rock and Rant 1. Here's a new one. Welcome to the show. BYU is not beating Texas Tech. In fact, there's a much better chance in college football playoff committee completely screws over BYU, even if they're number 10 next week if they lose that game.
Yeah.
Gio concurs with you there. Gilbert Reyes, Carson Beck is super accurate. As fans, we are always looking for the pick first versus he is a good quarterback. I agree. I think Carson Beck
really well. And
outside of the quarterback we had last year, Carson Beck is the best quarterback that's played for Miami in a long time.
He's slinging it, man. He's
he had 24 in a row. And that pass to Bauman, how did that guy knock the ball out? I mean, it was right there. The game is, if we
don't get me started on that.
Yes.
Gio doesn't want to go to the. Well, it was nice to see Lofton score, so that was nice.
It was nice, but did they go back to Lofton at all in the second half? It seemed like we got a little conservative in the second half. We could have squashed them, but we got conservative in the second half. I
I
don't know
will say Marion keeps playing good ball, though. Marion is playing
Marion.
really, really well.
Gio called him out. He's going to have
Yeah.
to go ahead. His NIL money, he's going to have to split with Gio next year.
He's playing really well.
He said, Gio, thank you for calling me out. I am a different player because you said I'm not worthy of the number 3 spot. Hassan, the committee is such a joke. How they reward a team for a better loss than a better win like Miami did against Notre Dame. Great point. Colorado came. My PTSD is already starting for Saturday.
Yeah, Jason. He texted me earlier. He's on it.
Yes, I get you there. The odds based on Rock and Rant. The odds based on the money line on the games of teams ahead of us that if they lost could fall behind us. Plus Miami is winning parlay like 1 in 3 chance plus or minus. Mando, you're a gambling guy. What is he saying?
Well, let me dissect this again. So the odds. Yeah, I'm trying to soak that one in. I need some clarification on that one.
I think he's saying the odds are in our favor that someone's not going to win. I think I could be wrong.
Well, money line, yeah, I think that's the gist of what I understand. Oklahoma's going to beat LSU. If that's where he's going with that, and then Notre Dame should be.
I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma loses that game.
Yeah, LSU can just play free. LSU's got nothing to play for. So
I mean, they want to say, "Hey, we're the real SEC," but they're going to say, "We're better than Bama. We can beat you in Bama."
No, like Gio mentioned earlier, their offense is a mess. Like ever since Mateer came back from injury, and Missouri got down to the goal line a few times last week and just couldn't score. And their defense is really good, but their offense stinks. So. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what LSU can do.
We're 75-1. I don't know if that's last week. And they were minus 260 to miss the playoffs. So it was their favorite to not make the playoffs, but also I love the 75-1. I mean, they won't let me bet anymore at Hard Rock because for that game, for the championship, because I'm already all in the maximum for the Hurricanes to win it all. People say, Brett, don't you do well if they win? Yes, but I need more. All right. Conference affiliation. After this, we're having gambling addiction with Brett and Mando after this one. Conference affiliation is more important than head-to-head and eye test.
Yes, he's absolutely
100% correct. But wouldn't it be funny to see some of these teams lose and not as many SEC teams get in as what's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Trey Hendricks, they won by 22. Which game was that?
Probably Notre Dame Pitt, probably.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they said 18-22. Thank you. Terp 305. If Georgia Tech beats Georgia, does that help Miami? I believe so. Gio thinks it does not. Correct?
No, I don't think so at all. I'm indifferent. I don't think it means anything either way.
No, I think it means something that the ACC beat the SEC. We usually see it during the bowls, but if you see it now, like last year, I thought if Georgia Tech would have beat Georgia, we would have had a much better chance of making the playoffs.
Oh, that was that 6 or 7 overtime spectacular.
Yeah, Georgia Tech was way ahead of them, and they let Georgia back in the game. And they went 7 overtimes, and I don't think he ran at one time the quarterback. I mean, he dominated the game, but he kept passing on the one play. Besides one play when it gets on the third overtime, correct?
Something like that, yeah. Overtime rule.
Yeah. Auburn has the best upset odds. Washington second, Mississippi State third, LSU fourth, and UCF fifth. Interesting.
I
Auburn
agree with that.
Best upset odds. Washington second, Mississippi State third, LSU fourth, and UCF fifth. Rock and Rand, he may be joining our program with the Gambler Anonymous.
I actually agree. That's good.
I like that too. I know we're going to be. I know this Saturday. I didn't even watch any. I mean, the Dolphins were off, but I watched a few games. I saw Mando's Philadelphia Eagles up to 21-0.
That was a gag
right now. But I didn't watch much pro at all. I was just so gassed from watching every college game because every game had implications for us through the whole day.
Hey, let me tell you, this I know next year we need Miami to have 0 losses or 1 because this scoreboard watching and watching other games, it's mentally exhausting. Like I got home, my daughter had an event, and I saw the Cincinnati BYU game. The kid missed his 3rd kick. I swear to God, I was laying there. I grabbed the controller. I hit the off button. I couldn't take it no more. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I couldn't take it no more. I was mentally toasted. Third field goal missed.
I could have sworn you were going to say I launched it, but
third missed field goal, and they had so many opportunities. They were in the crazy, man.
Rock and Rare need 2 of 3, plus of course the Miami victory. Exactly, I agree. I want all 5.
So I'll ask you guys, how do you see this game shaping out Saturday? Freshman quarterback, he's played well. They're at home. What do you guys think?
I think Miami's going to be challenged a bit in terms of the playmakers that Pittsburgh has at the skill position. They have a freshman running back that just popped over 200 yards over Georgia Tech last week. He's actually out of the same area of the state of Florida, just like Zachariah Poyser out of Wildwood, Florida. That kid's name is actually, I have it right here, Jakirian Turner. Mason Heinschel, the freshman quarterback, he's had a pretty solid year, taking over for Eli Holstein. They got 2 receivers in their top 3 group, their starters, that are from South Florida as well. So, yeah, there's some familiarity there from the Sunshine State. I know Pittsburgh likes to come down here. They recruit a bit and whatnot, so they got some guys. The biggest thing about their defensive side of the ball, their linebackers are really good. Miami's going to have they'll have some issues there going into the game in terms of playing against those guys. So Dawson and the rest of the team, they're going to have to game plan very well for that coming into this weekend. But I think it's a winnable game for Miami. I think they should be able to win. Do I agree with the spread of 6.5? I'm going to say yes. I think Miami can cover it this weekend, actually. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout though, like people want. I don't get the sense of that.
So Pittsburgh is one. They outside of the Notre Dame game, which they got handled. They've won. They had 5 in a row, and then they got blown out by Notre Dame, and then they beat Georgia Tech. So they've won 6 out of 7, and they've dominated teams. 53-34 against North Carolina State. Stanford, they won by 2 touchdowns. They just got back Florida State when they were 25th, 48-7 against that team. The games they lost were very close. Louisville by a touchdown and West Virginia by a touchdown. So the only team that really beat them by more than 1 score was Notre Dame. I mean, and that game was speaking of 22 points, that game was the 22 points. So that was the only game they lost. I mean, so they lost that game by more than the other 2 losses. So this is actually a very good team, Pittsburgh. And they would like nothing else better than to finish Miami's chance at the playoffs like they did the last time.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Even the last time they didn't put us out. Obviously, it was the bowl game against Clemson that ended it for us. Even though it was a different playoff system at that time, correct?
Yes.
As I retrack. Ralph Lopez, just FYI, SEC will have at least 5 spots regardless. Stop assuming records matter. You concur, Gio?
About the same records? Yeah, the SEC will get that favoritism.
Correct. But and is it possible you think that a 3-loss SEC team can be ahead of Miami?
I get worried about that with the Alabama situation. Like, let's say they beat Auburn, and let's say they're in a close, tight game. If they play Texas A&M in the SEC championship game, I wouldn't put it past the committee to keep them within the conversation.
Yeah.
So Alabama is right now in the SEC championship against Texas A&M, correct?
If they win.
Next up would be Georgia.
I believe.
Yeah, so then you got Georgia. Georgia would be next, right? Even if they lose to Georgia Tech, they would be the runner. They would be against Texas A&M if they beat Texas, or would it be Mississippi, who could lose to Mississippi State, or would it be Oklahoma?
No, but I think it's Georgia. I think Georgia's the next up. I think I'm not 100% on that, but I think Georgia would be the next in play. To simply put, A&M and Bama win, they're in.
That means if Alabama loses to Auburn and Georgia loses to Georgia Tech and then loses to Texas A&M, both Alabama and Georgia would be out possibly. So Alabama loses to Auburn. They don't play in the – so they got 3, so now we know they're eliminated as long as we have 2.
Oh, Alabama loses to Auburn, they're done.
Georgia Tech and loses to Texas A&M. Like last year we thought when Georgia played in the SEC championship, they could be out. They may not make the playoffs, but they won. That was the game that Carson Beck got hurt, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
because if Georgia were to lose to number 23 Georgia Tech, they're going to fall. Like,
And then they
Well,
could,
yeah.
but that's not a conference game. They would still play in the conference championship if Alabama loses to Auburn, which according
well, what
to
about we're
according
talking
to
about
Rocky
Michigan?
Rand, that was the number one upset opportunity. So you'd have a 2-loss Georgia team going against Texas A&M. If Texas A&M beat Georgia then would have 3 losses. And hard to imagine they would have a playoff without Alabama and Georgia. But Georgia would have lost 2 games in a row then.
I think Texas is done, but it's also interesting if Texas beats Texas A&M. How high does Texas get? I don't think Texas would pass Miami in that instance because they're down like a number 17, 18 right now. The one to really worry about is Michigan because they're at 15. If they were to beat number 1, then Michigan, that becomes a problem.
Michigan. So Mando, check later on what the odds are of Georgia and Alabama not making the playoffs on that scenario I said. You think we got 100 to 1? I don't know if they would let you parlay that, but that'd be a kind of cool bet. Anything to lose money.
Yeah.
Miami has people saying, "Wow, I didn't know he had such a problem." Miami has been put on the stage several times. They need to shut everyone up or go home. Too many years, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Agree. But this is the closest. I mean, last year was close as well, but we beat Pittsburgh. We're finishing the season 4-0. I think there's no way they can turn us away. I mean, we're going to figure out a way to get in.
Yep.
Carl in Miami. Gio, I heard from Fran Brown. Heard Fran Brown is doing some shady shit in recruiting right now. What is he doing? Do you know?
I haven't heard too much about that. The only thing I'll say is, look, bottom line, if you're from South Florida or just any other part of the country, and you're a 4- or 5-star recruit, and you're willingly wanting to sign up for a program that has only won 3 games this year, is coming off a historic loss, like the amount of points they lost by is one of the worst ever in history of their football program. I don't know what you're doing, but that's just me.
All right. OG Kane, let's go Wake Forest and let's go Virginia Tech.
Yep.
It'll be a great feeling at 3:00 if we won the game, and we can just sit there and just root away and not have to and have something to root for.
Oh, and if we win Saturday, then I'll have the TV on right there. I'll be cheering for Auburn. I might buy a Bo Jackson throwback jersey or something. I'll be cheering for Auburn like it's a Super Bowl. Believe me.
No, I totally agree. I always root for Auburn against Alabama, to be truthful. Something about since Nick Saban left and said, I'm not going to be that Alabama coach.
But to your point, Brett, if we do lose, it's going to make the rest of the day just suck. We need to win. We need to win, man.
It's going to be a cry fest. I'm telling you. It's not, I mean, I'll be Thanksgiving for health and blessed for a lot of things, but it's going to be, I don't want to go there. We all know when
we got this. We got this.
We've had too much heartache. I really fully believe we're going to win. But that's not always perfect, guys. So that feeling is not always perfect. Rock and Rand, Vanderbilt is not jumping Miami, and neither is Texas as long as Miami wins. So not sure about your SEC theory.
Vandy plays Tennessee. Vandy plays Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's very important. Vanderbilt's Tennessee's little brother, and they want to go ahead and keep Tennessee there. If Vanderbilt beats Tennessee, I mean, and Vanderbilt's got tons of money also for NIL. It's going to be.
They've had a pretty good season. Vanderbilt's not a Georgia, Alabama, them, but they've had a hell of a year.
I agree. They have. This has been an amazing year, and they could never even. It just goes to show the SEC, all these great teams. They've had a year out of nowhere. They've been getting better also every year, it seems. Gilbert Reyes, he looks more like Fred, though. I'm guessing that's Mario and Fred instead of Bam Bam. I know they have the live-action Flintstones coming up, and I think Mario may have the part for Bam Bam. When has Miami been this lucky for all this? Has been this lucky for all this chaos? Go Canes.
Yeah,
Been a while. Carl,
Mm.
who is our next flip? Give me a name. And go over who the guys that we have flipped recently, Gio.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, recent guys, they've been able to flip Gavin Mueller, Mylan Paris, who else to throw in there? Sean Stansel, several others as well in recent time. Even James Dunnigan as well, a top 100 recruit, a big time safety prospect that they were able to flip in recent time. I'm sure I'm forgetting other names here, but that's just off the top of the head. But in terms of what's possibly next, nothing really with traction at receiver right now. However, at running back, I know they're still very much in it with Amari Latimer. I think that's one that Miami has a realistic chance of doing. I know they're still evaluating potentially another linebacker or defensive back. If they find one they like, that maybe they'll make the decision to do so, but nothing really set in concrete stone with that yet. However, the big fishes that they're really focused on right now, it's three defensive linemen in particular: Anthony Tank Jones, Lamar Brown, and Bryce Perry Wright. And I've said this several times for a few months now. If there's one guy in particular I'm watching, like if Miami has a chance at making a big splash with on signing day, Anthony Tank Jones, the 5-star defensive lineman from the state of Alabama, committed to Oregon. Not saying that I think it happens right now. I'm not entirely sure, but he's the one I've been watching very closely over months now, that if there's a possibility of a surprise, and Mario's been able to pull out surprises, and even Jason Taylor has done so as well, that would be the guy that I'm circling as watching going forward over these next 9 days.
Awesome.
Or actually, no, 8 days. Sorry.
There's only 8 days till
early signing day.
So this is a huge next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's early signing day. When is there's 2 signing days?
Yeah, there's still the February one, but not many kids are signing around that time.
Okay. Let's see. Great information there. I hope that answered your question, Carl. 818, shout out to Mally, 90 yards away from surpassing AR for all-time freshman leader for yards. You're close to Amon.
Yeah.
How does he feel about Molly?
He's super excited for him. I've joked with him before about it, and he's told me, he's like, no, man, if he breaks it, he really deserves it. He puts in the work.
Mm-hmm. I have mixed emotions on that one. I want, obviously, and the bowl game counts, and the ACC championship counts too, right?
Yep.
So it's he could shatter that, but Amon would have had such a good career, and if unfortunately it was cut short. I mean, it was a very sad situation.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. So I almost want to see that record always holding, but at the same time, we want the guys to get better and better and better. So I totally understand.
I'll tell you this. Malachi is also 14 catches away from tying the single season all-time receptions record, which was set by Xavier Restrepo 2 years ago.
He's 14 catches away?
Yeah. The record is 85. Malachi is 14 catches away, and with give or take 2, potentially 3, or maybe, we'll see what happens with everything else. But at most 2 games, considering he came off of a game where he had 12 receptions, what's to say he doesn't have like 8 or 9 in this next one, and then another 8 or 9 in the other one, breaks the record.
Well, the other one being, you're saying this ACC championship game, the bowl
game or whatever.
All right, Mando, look up the odds on Malachi getting 100 here, okay? Like,
We'll do.
Say this to me all the time. That was before computers. He'd say, "Brett, find out what the odds are on this. Find out what the odds are on this." So now you know where I got it from. Someone explain to me why we need Duke to lose. I think you already said that a little, Gio.
Yeah, the common opponent conference win percentage, has to do with that. And Duke is slightly higher in that category than Miami.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Carl, slow down on the Moss talk. Moss ran a 4.2 something.
No, I wasn't comparing. Like, that's why I made the the clear difference that, I don't think that Malachi's has the speed of a Santana Moss, but the type of impact that they have toward a game, I think it's very similar.
Correct. That's the same build, same everything, and the punt returners. Obviously, Moss was a track star. Actually, on a track scholarship, I'm pretty sure at Miami. Correct.
Yep.
Definitely, I think one of the most underrated players in Miami history, even though he is an all-time great. When they talk about receivers, they talk about obviously they talk about Andre Johnson. They talk about obviously Michael Irvin. There's a few others, but I'd say Santana is what you think he's top 5 Miami Hurricane receivers all time. I mean, obviously,
yes,
Wayne.
Yes,
that was possibly Irvin played with Blades and Perryman, I think, which are all 3 stars. But Wayne and Moss is probably as good as it gets as well.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, Malachi will have a partner as well. And with all these freshmen that we have. Speaking of freshmen, Gerard Pringle, what do you guys think of his performance?
I was most impressed with the wheel route and how he came down with it.
Yeah,
too.
that was nice.
What a throw, what a catch. He put that ball, and just he made that catch. And I've been calling for the wheel route all year round. And it doesn't have to be in the end zone, but that was spectacular. He did better in the passing game. It's the running game. He started off, it just didn't seem like we could get anybody really running.
I haven't seen a running back run the wheel route so effectively like that at Miami since Greg Cooper. Coop.
No doubt about it. You're right. And I'd love to use that. There were some new plays that they were working on here, from the slants to other things. I was excited. I just thought we may have let off on the gas a little bit in the second half. Stanford about to get destroyed. Is that game on right now? About to get destroyed by Notre Dame. Okay, if you guys can figure out a way without getting sued to make an F Joey Galloway shirt in some form, you can retire. I'll buy all of them. Okay, Rocker, that may be a deal. If you're going to buy them all, I won't be too worried. But yeah, I agree. There's got to be something. I think if Miami makes the playoffs, a Joey Galloway picture with that Jordan face would be awesome. That would be awesome if we can make something like that. I've got to have someone be able to put that up and say, Miami made the playoffs, and they basically only won by 10 points.
Yeah.
Joey's counting the game before it's over. He must have been so pissed off when they scored that touchdown. Can you imagine how upset he was when we threw the ball for that touchdown? Prayers up for old Bernie for a speedy and healthy recovery, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Bernie Kosar, one of the Cane legends. Another guy that people don't talk about as much. They talk, but led us to the national championship, led us to that victory against the Gators the next year when he brought us right down the field against a really good Gator team. And I think that game was in Orlando, right? And just phenomenal guy, phenomenal career. Hopefully, speedy recovery.
Yeah, I think I saw on the timeline that today was his birthday, I believe.
Oh, is it? Happy birthday, Bernie! Now,
yeah. No, that guy.
Did he get out?
In an era and a time of a lot of people complain about everything, that guy is literally waiting for a liver transplant. The guy's out there tweeting and shit about positivity, and good for him, man. That guy, and he got through it. So good. Hopefully, he lives a long life. And
he got the new liver.
He just had the transplant. I think so. Yeah, they released him from the hospital.
Well, thank God. And that's a tough list to get.
Oh yeah.
Brett, Sergeant Major. Welcome, Sergeant Major. I have an idea for an article of headgear. How can I get it to you for your review? Sergeant Major, you can email me at brett@caneswear.com, Brett 2 T's at caneswear.com, or you can send it on X. I have the X account at Canes_wear. If Brett at Caneswear doesn't go through, you can send it to caneswear1@gmail.com. So several ways to get to me. Facebook, Brett Mitchell. Instagram, if you send it, I will see it any of the ways you send the message to our account. Just tell me you're Sergeant Major from the CanesWear podcast.
I thought you were going to say Brett at hardrock.com.
There you go, Brett Hard. Maybe take that one down, Mando. Hard luck at Hard Rock. Fresh Prince, welcome to the show, Fresh Prince. Purdue, Arkansas, Boston College, Syracuse, and Stanford are all hot garbage. Weak ass Notre Dame wins.
What a murderer's row of ball clubs there, huh? Jesus.
It took till 11:11, 10:07 on the question log for Juan Manuel to bring up Miss Hudson.
Oh, here we go.
Miss Hudson and Bill are cold hair Chapel Hill. We need South Florida Heat. Send us a few Miami players to the transfer portal for Bill and Mondo's sexy guns for Miss Hudson and Pan con leche. That's a
Pan con lechon.
Pan con lechon.
Oh, you both can handle that. Very good. As soon as I know when Juan Manuel starts breaking out those. OU LSU game going to be ugly. Defensive battle. Upset can happen. Out of those 5 games that he mentioned, that 5 games, what do you see as the biggest opportunity for? I know Rock and Rand said before the Auburn game. What do you think is the best chance for an upset, Gio and Mando?
I personally think the Oklahoma LSU game. I'm not sold on Oklahoma. I think their offense is terrible. Like I've been saying, I think they're a little fraudulent, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Their defense, absolutely legit defense. But I don't know. I think LSU could sneak one up on them.
All right. Do you see any other good opportunities for
Oregon, Washington? I'm a little skeptical about Oregon as well.
So that'd be a good one. So that's 2. Mando?
I guess we'll start at the top. I mean, Michigan's beaten Ohio State, 4 or 5 years in a row? Last year, they were like 18-point dogs. Nobody thought they had a chance. Mm-hmm. Michigan's better this year. I don't think they're world beaters, but they're at home. We talked about it last week. I think what Jeremiah Smith said, he's never losing to Michigan again. So we will see. I expect Ohio State to. I expect OSU to win. Mm-hmm. But us as Canes fans, I don't think we want Michigan to win that game. Which is funny to say because we always want to see Ohio State lose, but in this instance, I don't think we want that. So
I think Ohio State's going to break that losing streak to Michigan.
Yeah, I would think so.
I hate to see Ohio State, but they've got to be I think they have the best opportunity at a back-to-back championship in a while. Well, we had back-to-back Georgia, so I shouldn't say that. But I think both of those, I think Mississippi and Ole Miss, I think there may be a lot of things on these kids' minds. I mean, they still are young, and Lane Kiffin in the news all the time. It's got to make them think where they're going next year, who's going to be their coach, are they leaving?
I will say that I didn't like how he played it most of the season, but Arch Manning's starting to look a little bit better. And they play Friday night at home, rivalry game against A&M. Texas can pull that off. Wouldn't shock me in the least bit. I mean, there should be a rowdy crowd there against Texas A&M. So I would expect them to be motivated to knock off an undefeated team. So that right there could be an upset there, right there.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Texas could definitely win.
Yeah, he is playing better. He's playing a lot better, Manning.
They just skated by Texas A&M, didn't they? Was that last week against South Carolina or the week before?
Well, yeah. Remember, they were down to 31 South Carolina at the half, like 30-3 or something like that.
Yeah, 30-3. Blue Green Street, I just booked my flight to Pittsburgh. 12-12. Wow. Congrats. 12 of 12 games this year. Every game is a flight for me. I got my Canes jacket mail from CanesWear today, so I'll be dressed for the occasion. Blue Green, thank you very much. I'm glad we can perform in Pittsburgh, and that is a great accomplishment.
That's respect. That's a true diehard right there.
Ricky better watch out. His record, but
I see Ricky at the game sometimes there at the club level. Ricky, great guy, but yeah. The streak league, it's unbelievable.
Exactly.
I think he's up to like 170 in a row or something like that.
Yeah, it's. I remember when he got the 100th, it was such a big thing, and
it's crazy.
It is a great guy. I saw him tailgating the other day at the end of the game. French Prince Secor, Miami has been getting hosed by the refs since the 80s, and I wasn't born until 95. I agree, but I think it is worse now than ever. I really do think it's worse.
I'm never the guy. I'm never like, because it's the court of coach's fault. It's the ref's fault. But these last few games, there's some like really bad. What about that face mask that they called against us? That wasn't a face mask.
Oh
had
my
about,
God.
he had
Yeah,
about like
egregious.
like some of these are just bad missed calls. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
And that was a fourth down? I think it was third down.
Or,
Like it's
or
not
how
just
about when Virginia Tech got 4th and forever, or what I like to call 6th and 1. 6th down and 1 yard to go.
yeah.
No,
But
it's
it's been brutal. Man.
I think picking up the flag against SMU could have been the worst non-call I've ever seen.
Oh, it was terrible.
Geez.
It was not like it was even questionable. It was clearly interference, and they went ahead and it's not like they didn't. I can see if you don't see a penalty.
Yeah.
But you threw the flag. It's like, did you really see that? Maybe not. Okay, good. Pick it up. And the ACC wonders why we're complaining. Juan Manuel, why isn't Kentucky Fried Chicken the official mascot of the University of Kentucky? Every time I'm here in Kentucky, I think of fried chicken. Okay, but is the Colonel from Louisville though? But I think he is, right? From Louisville, Kentucky. So just leaving work. You guys have a great Thanksgiving. Gilbert, thank you very much. You as well. Great Thanksgiving to you. Fresh Prince, because Shannon Dawson is a mid-power 4 coordinator. I think he's going back to the fact that we run so few plays and we have the ball for so long. I mean, I would like to hurry up offense, but sometimes hurry up offense or moving the ball a little quicker hurts your defense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it varies.
Gio, Brett, and Mando, do you realize how pivotal the 2025 season will be with coaching movements? FSU choosing stagnation for the next 2 years, keeping Norvell. LSU looking for a coach. Florida, Auburn, Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm watching that Florida situation very closely because I wonder what they're going to do.
It is going to be interesting. Were you guys surprised that Norvell was kept?
No, because no, not at all.
They don't have any money?
They don't want. They don't want to pay that buyout or whatever it is going on over there.
It's amazing what these guys are making. If you remember that show Batman, the original one with the pow kick. I mean, they did that with Bruce Wayne and Robin. I mean, Bruce Wayne was only making $2,000 an episode. I saw today. Robin $375. They wanted to get rid of Robin in the third season because they couldn't afford to pay him $375 a week.
Jeez.
Now the kids are making $375 an hour minimum wage. It's going up pretty fast. Didn't Texas Tech just kick BYU ass a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
they did. What was the
Pretty
final?
much, yeah.
It was like 27-6, I believe.
And didn't you say that that was a bigger margin than all 5 of our losses in the last 2 years?
Yes, it is actually.
Pretty amazing. And Alabama lost by 14 the first game against FSU, but they're still ranked. Even with a win, we can still moss the playoffs. That's what hurts.
Yeah.
Missed the playoffs. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought it was some terminology. I didn't know that Moss was. I know Malachi Moss, the guy. I thought, okay, Moss. Maybe I'm missing something. Not with the cool guys, but it's missed the playoffs. Texas and Alabama may have coaching changes. Alabama loses to Auburn. Hello, Penn State, and Texas lost to A&M. Sark is out the door.
Yeah, I wonder what is going to happen with that situation, if Sarkisian will stay at Texas or not. There's been a lot of discussion that maybe he wants to jump at the NFL. I don't know what NFL team will take him right now, but, that's a whole other story.
According to the CFP rules, though there aren't supposed to punish teams that lose conference championship games unless they're blown out.
They don't go by their own rules anyways. They say they're supposed to honor
I don't buy that.
According to the rules, the head-to-head's supposed to matter also, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every week it changes. So yeah, but he said clearly last week that if you lost in the SEC championship or lost in a championship game, it's going to count as a regular loss, which I think is crazy. I don't think it should count as a regular loss. Auburn got screwed.
Who said that?
The committee
chairman said that?
Sure. He said that last week, right after he said, we don't compare Miami to Notre Dame. And if we did, Notre Dame has much better losses than Miami.
So he did say if you lose, he did say if you lose a conference championship game that it does.
Count
It
as a
is.
regular loss. I believe I heard that right at that time.
Okay.
Roll the tape. I mean, I'm 99 point. I was 100% sure. Now maybe 99, since if I'm the only person that heard it.
We'll see because
Auburn got screwed against OU. They were screwed against
Yeah.
OU and Georgia especially. And their coach, I liked their coach too. He was. I liked the way that I did like his energy. Juan Emmanuel, I'm still mad. How do you beat Notre Dame, USF, Florida, and FSU, then do a Mario losing to Louisville and SMU? It hurts my brain. Make it make sense.
Yeah, college football is a week-to-week business. Sometimes you could lose to a team that you're more talented than.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
And we're losing the teams that were more talented because we've been more talented than most of these teams in recruiting, even when Manny was here, and we'd lose to plenty of teams, and Mario too. So we're getting better at beating the bad teams and beating the good teams. Much better at beating the good teams, for that matter. Canes Jones, thank you for reposting the stream. Guys, please always like, subscribe, and repost the stream. Don't be scared, Brett. We aren't holding back any offense the rest of the season. They didn't stop us. We stopped ourselves, Canes Jones.
Right.
Yeah, we stopped ourselves. And I thought, the first half looked great. The second half is kind of like a blur because we were winning by, what were we winning, 20-3 at halftime?
20-3, yes.
20-3.
And
They
then
came out and got a touchdown at the opening of the second half, and
yeah, we had our opportunities to blow them out. And obviously, it's more important. Even though, how often do we beat Virginia Tech in November? Not often. And they're home. Not often. So, and we won by 17. I mean,
exactly.
Looking back, you know what? That's a good win for us. May not have the style points, but Hassan, did you hear that tool Galloway saying that last touchdown against VT doesn't count because it's last minute? Okay, so last minute touchdown and field goal shouldn't count for wins for anyone, right?
yeah,
Exactly.
I guess we should go back and review the 50-something to 60 games that go on week in and week out in college football, and say, oh well, you scored a touchdown at this point or whatever. You know what? Let's remove it and just say this was your actual win. Okay. Well, if you want to do that, then what about the Miami-Syracuse game? Miami produced the shutout. When their starters were in, it was the backups that gave up a touchdown to Syracuse.
North Carolina State also, right?
Yeah.
North Carolina State, we gave up, so we shut them out. Joey Galloway's score. So it's going to be, for now on, the real score and Joey's score. We'll just call it Joey's score. That guy is just a tool, 100%. I think he is number one on the Miami hated list. And I love everybody. I'm back. It's put up or shut up time for Mario. No more above the trajectory. Did you figure out this? Howard Stern, 93.79, is back, Gio.
Yeah, he's back again this week.
How does the CFP completely ignore the fact that every conference in NFL use head-to-head as the primary tiebreaker? This is from Pitt, not to be confused. On Twitter, he's watching that. Okay, cool. That is so true. Head-to-head should be everything. Unfortunately, it didn't mean anything in 2000 when we beat Florida State, and they played Oklahoma in the championship. That was bigger as ripoff as the Ohio State game, I think. Go Canes, guys! Beat Pitt. Let's do it. SMU can lose to Cali. To Cal can upset anybody. Jake Tapper. I agree. You think they have any chance, Cal?
I wouldn't bet on that one, just for the simple fact that Cal just fired their head coach, and I mean they have a phenomenal quarterback, the young kid, JKS, Jaronku Sagapole, but I don't know. I don't envision them beating SMU.
Jake Tapper, I'm worried, guys. If Miami doesn't make the playoffs, I'm gonna be devastated. We are gonna have to start the CanesWear support group. The three of us will have to be on that, but we'll be devastated too. So we need to make the playoffs. First thing we do need is win Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Yep.
If we win Saturday at 12, we got to win Saturday 12, 1, 2, and 3. We want to play a whole game, not like Syracuse. We beat Syracuse the first hour last year at this time. We need to play the whole game. JoJo, welcome. Cal got blown out by Stanford. That's why the coach is fired.
That's reasonable justification for why.
Oh yeah.
Sergeant Major Beeson he's naming, number 2 linebacker. I'm talking about
With the
John
Joel Klatt thing, yeah.
Okay. Gio, should we be concerned if Vanderbilt beats Tennessee in style and passing us over?
I don't think that'll happen. I don't think even if Vanderbilt won, that would happen.
No, because they would have to jump us. They would have to jump 2-3 spots, and I don't see that happening.
Sergeant Major Neuheisel's a hater.
Yeah.
Is it on us?
Yep.
The Kill Dove, yes. Chad 85 is a high tide. Absolutely. So he's probably one of the most, probably the best high tide ever. Just ask him. Howard Stern, as long as Mario stays away from play calling, easy win for us. No more conservative big head bonehead. Mario.
Let's see.
You can start reading Gio for a bit.
1 milligram of epinephrine shared here. Greg Sankey would be all over the place talking up his teams of the SEC. Yep, he's absolutely right.
I got to take Ryan upstairs.
Howard Stern said, Evan Shapiro can block better than the left guard McCoy. It's that bad. Oh, my God. Chris Guns said, College Football Committee doesn't want to see us in the playoffs. They know how dangerous we are roster-wise. We are as talented as anybody. I can actually agree with that sentiment. I think Miami stacks up very well when you compare them to other rosters. DMC 1166, when we went against the ranked Pitt team, we moved to number 9. No other team from 9 to 11 plays anyone. We easily leapfrog them if we win Saturday and we are in. I would love to think that way. I just don't trust the committee. Jojo Gunn 44 said that salad look in Galloway's face when Booger McFarland was boosting the Canes was priceless. Yes, it was. Joey Galloway hates the Canes. And you know what? Major respect to Booger McFarland for being very objective about the Canes over the years. He would always call it as it is. You know, there was no extra agenda behind what he would share.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an LSU alum too. He doesn't have to show Miami respect. Jojo Gunn 44. All these games are rivalry games, so yes, anything can happen. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it happen many times in the Miami FSU games. Howard Stern, Andy, look at last year, Michigan, Ohio State. You know, Michigan wasn't a really good team last year. Howard Stern said, if Miami loses, can you make Mario Krista fraud T-shirts for sale?
We had I mean, I feel bad sometimes about those shirts. When Manny came, I had the Manny Diaz County that I got approved, which I said, this is going to be a bit, it sold like crazy at the beginning. Then we also had the new Miami, when he had the new Miami, you know, when he came in on the boat at the wharf. Then we had the Mario shirt. Used to have the Al Golden tie shirt. None of these have really gone well after the fact. So, but Mario Cristo fraud, that would be a funny shirt. I could actually just see the University of Miami calling up and saying, Brett, we have a problem. I'll say, I'll tell you my problem.
818 Cali Kane said, this season is successful if we win 10 games back-to-back. Haven't done it since early 2000, 2004. Give us BYU or Utah in a bowl game to blow them out. I still feel college football playoff will screw us. We just got to see. There's a lot of football left to be played.
Mm-hmm.
Howard Stern said, OG Kane has loser mentality. 20 wins, number 1 pick, 2 top 10 picks, nothing to show for it. I know it's a tough position to be in, but at the end of the day, Miami doesn't have any control over the committee.
Mm-hmm.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Nope. Before the season, it was playoff or bust. Not changing that now. Why do they insist on force feeding Lofton? I don't know. I don't think he's gotten the ball much his way throughout the season, to be honest. But, I mean, there's been certain instances and just some negative things have happened, even the SMU game when he had dropped the touchdown.
I thought since he dropped that touchdown, he's played well. I didn't think they gave him that touchdown right at the beginning. Did they give him much opportunity after? They went away from the field. So, I mean, I thought the guy had scored back-to-back touchdowns in 2 games, so he's really improved. They also gave him an opportunity out of the backfield, didn't he? Did he carry the ball, or was he the lead blocker?
He actually got the first carry of the game out of the backfield.
So that's good. They probably said, we want to get him the ball. Then they threw the ball to him. Then for some reason they forgot who he was.
I think he should be in the backfield more than anything. That's just my opinion. Hassan said, "Hey fellas, hopefully I'll see you guys at the game. I'll be there. It's only 3-hour drive from me from Toledo, Ohio.
Oh, that's
Nice.
awesome.
Hope you enjoy the game. I won't be out there. I'm actually out on vacation right now for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
But yeah, I hope you enjoy the game, Hassan. Hopefully Miami comes out with a win.
So Hassan is going there? All right, that's awesome.
Juan Manuel said,
Enjoy, Hassan.
Why can't we play another tight end other than Alex Bauman? Can't Luka Gilbert at least be used during red zone? It's painful watching Bauman. Yeah, Bauman it's been disappointing with him at Miami. It hasn't reached the expectations that were coming in. He was a really good and productive player at Tulane. Sometimes transfer portal is a mixed bag. Sometimes you get guys that explode, others not so much. For example, one gamble that Miami took was Keontae Scott himself. He just last year he moved to playing as a boundary corner, and it didn't go so well at Auburn. But the previous year he was at nickel. He comes to Miami, he's playing nickel again, and he's a Jim Thorpe Award semifinalist. He's had a really good year. So transfer portal can be a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Gunn said, "Too bad Keontae Scott is out for the rest of the season. Great player for us." Yep. New King God. Who does the cold weather affect more, Pitt or us? I think Pitt, because they don't run the ball well and aren't that big of a team compared to Miami.
They ran for 200 yards in this game.
I don't think the weather is going to factor that much with it being a noon game, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. What was the weather in Virginia Tech? Was it in 40s?
No, it was like 50 or 60 something. It was nice.
So, but this game, yeah. So I mean, Pitt can run. It's just most of our guys are from most of our guys are probably from here, and especially, but obviously Beck has played in cold weather in Georgia, and other players that have. So the kids that have not played in cold weather, we'll see how they do.
What if Ole Miss loses? Man,
that would be crazy.
That would be a lot of drama for college football. One Manuel said, "Is Elijah Lofton showing signs of getting back to form? He had a nice game versus B-Tech." I think he's improved ever since what happened with that SMU game. He was supposed to sit in the soft spot of the zone and just kind of kept running into the defender and then got knocked out, and the ball basically fell out of his hands. It was like a drop. I'm sure Miami would have loved to have that touchdown back. That's the difference between winning and losing that game. But I feel like he's played better since. Would love for him to be the player that we saw coming out of the offseason. And I feel like even last year, he looked better last season. I don't know exactly what the issue is. I know that he did get banged up early on in the year, like before the season started. But then again, he's still out there playing and everything. There's guys that do play through injuries, just I don't know exactly how to describe it, but he just hasn't. It's weird seeing it during spring and fall, like how he looked, like especially early fall. And it was almost like a strong conviction for many of us watching practice at the time that, man, he's going to be a key component to the offense this year. And it just hasn't translated like that during the season. But I will say, though, I do remember one other player that happened to that. He looked really good his sophomore year in the offseason, and it didn't exactly happen on the field. It happened a year later. It was Jacoby George, actually. His sophomore year, he was dominating in scrimmages for Miami, and then the season came, and it never really materialized until the following year.
Gio, I just saw a good post. Vishnu just reposted this post from Ari Wasserman. Have you guys seen it? You saw it, Gio?
Not yet. I haven't been looking at it.
I'll just read it real quick. What the College Football Playoff Committee is doing to Miami is the biggest injustice in the system's history. Totally calling them out. But a few things he said here. Who does the public think is better? Notre Dame. Who do I think is better? Notre Dame. But who cares what I think? I'm 30 games below 500 picking games against the spread on our podcast this year. Who cares what you think? the public is often wrong, which is why they have those big, beautiful buildings in the desert in southwestern Nevada. Data, feelings, projections, and what could happen are valuable. They really are. They're good tools for helping CFP committees see the forest from the trees, especially when two similar teams have not played each other. This committee is still lost and doing something no other group has done before, prioritizing data and metrics over results. The CFP committee has disregarded the games we watched this year and is favoring a team because they think that team has looked better. If we aren't going to adhere to the results of the games, then that defeats the purpose of even playing them. Why not simulate the entire season and let the data tell us who the national champion is at the end of the year? Yeah. That's a take. It's basically what Gio said last week, and why play that game against Notre Dame next year. But it's true. I mean, they're looking at data. Well, forget that they played in the first week. Like the guy said that's up there with Galloway, the guy on the left. I don't know his name, but he's
Dusty Dvorak. Dusty, yeah.
But he said it's not about he said it's about your resume. Since when does resume not count? I don't know if he said cover letter or what, but it's all about we're disregarding the resume. But they look better now. Who cares? You played the game. You played in the NFL in week 1. Kansas City plays, let's just say, the Dolphins. And the Dolphins win a game in week 1. At the end of the season, the Dolphins were, let's say, were 10-0, but 12-0, but lost the last 5 games of the season. They're tied now with Kansas City, who's won 10 in a row. Who's going to get the bid? Is it the team that won the first game of the week or the team that lost if they're a tie? The team that won. Yeah. It doesn't matter how you're playing. And this guy, Ari Wasserman, said it. And Brett concurred. They played. It doesn't matter if you played in week 1. As long as you played in the regular season, it is on your resume. You cannot take it off.
Absolutely.
Like CanesWear, the spot Miami fan shop. Go. All right, carry on, Gio.
Howard Stern said Brian told a Miami book it. 818 Calicane, who wins Oklahoma versus Miami or Oklahoma versus Notre Dame and Bama versus Miami or Notre Dame versus Bama? I think Miami could beat both, but ND couldn't. Yeah, I think Notre Dame would struggle with Alabama. I think Notre Dame could take down Oklahoma. As for Miami versus Oklahoma, I'd pick Miami over Oklahoma. I have serious questions about Oklahoma's offense. I've said several times here. But Alabama, Miami, I think would be interesting. I think Miami could potentially lose that if those two matched up, just how I think those matchups are. But again, this is why you play the games, though. You can't just go off projections.
Correct.
Juan Manuel said, hey, why isn't Upshaw targeted more? He had a great contested catch on 3rd down. They really don't target Upshaw. He's been playing quite a bit more the last few weeks. We'll see. Juan Manuel said that running back number 25 is not a freshman, is he? You're talking about Chris Wheatley-Humphrey. He's a redshirt freshman. Mm-hmm. Jojo Gunn said they had Louisville down 17-0. Yeah. Chris Gunn said, I want to see Gerard Pringle get the ball. And he's been getting the ball plenty.
He's getting the ball more than anybody outside. I think he got the ball more. The only guy, probably Malachi, got the ball more than him.
Yeah.
But, One Manuel said,
he's like Brett. I want more.
I want more, darn it.
One Manuel said here, I think we are screwed. I smell disappointment a mile away. Let's talk recruiting and transfer portal. And we got to see. Like I said, there's still a lot of football.
Let's forget about the last game, Juan Manuel. Let's forget about the Pitt. Let's forget about the playoffs. Let's just talk about. I like that point. And by the way, Brian Bosworth said Oklahoma would beat Miami.
Demetrius.
I told him he's high on something.
Demetrius Israel shared, why isn't Malachi Tony in the Heisman combo? Everyone else hasn't been consistent other than the Notre Dame running back, but they haven't played anyone. Yeah. Look, and I've said this before, it's nothing against Fernando Mendoza, but I think if that is your Heisman front runner during a season, I don't think there's that many good candidates this year.
There's not. They need an candidate. Good point. Mando is not. I mean, not Mando. Gio has not been a fan of. For everybody, I'm sure we have any new guys that see the show. Gio has not been a giant fan of Mendoza. Is that correct?
No.
No, I look. I think he's a good quarterback. I've stood on it that I don't think he's elite. I think time's going to show that. I want to see how he looks against these teams when the playoff comes and everything. I still have questions about it. I think his head coach is not getting enough credit for helping Mendoza develop more, in my opinion, because you watch Mendoza at Cal compared to Indiana, there's some stark contrasts there. And people forget what Kurt Signetti did last year with Curtis Rourke, who came into that program at Indiana. And Curtis Rourke had a really good season last year. So, I just think there's a lot of short-term memory loss and just recency bias. But again, I think Mendoza's good quarterback. Just don't think he's elite.
Does the ACC, does the championship games count in the Heisman or no? The conference champions?
No, not really. They don't factor it much in.
So Malachi to have it, if he gets like his first punt return, he throws for a touchdown this game. He catches 10 passes and he runs for a touchdown. Let's just say he has the game of his life. Okay. And last week was a pretty good game to have. A game of his life. Do you think he has a chance to be in the Final Five?
I think it may be tough at this point because he's not like highly up there in the conversation. It's just kind of buzzing now. I think going into next season, though, he's there's going to be a lot of discussion behind him as a candidate. Mm-hmm. However, I will say, interesting stat, Malachi could become one of only 2 Miami Hurricanes to score in 4 different phases of the game, or 4 different categories of the game in a season. The only other player was Stacy Coley, his freshman year in 2013. Malachi Tony has scored throwing the ball, running the ball, catching the ball. If he takes back a punt return, or I don't know, they put him out there on defense just for the heck of it. He picks off a pass. Anything that's score. I mean, I don't put anything past the kid at this point. He's that talented.
Correct.
If he scores in one other category, he'll be one of only 2 players to score in 4 different categories in a single season at Miami. The only other player was Stacy Coley, who scored a rushing, receiving, punt, and kick return touchdown. He's the only other player that's done it at Miami.
Wow. Stacy Coley also has another one. I didn't know that about Stacy. He is one of only 2 Hurricane players, maybe 3 actually.
Well, he's the only one right now. Malachi could become number 2.
But I didn't know that about Stacy Coley. He did 2 different signings at Miami. One when he did 2 different signings at CanesWear, along with Willis McGahee, and Braxton Berrios did 3. He is the record holder. In case anybody's scoring at home. Got that, Mando?
Let's see.
Got it. Yeah.
Howard Stern said, "We need Tank. Let's open the checkbook." Yeah, that would be a nice late splash for early signing day. 1 milligram of epinephrine said, "Isn't Malley only about 94 yards shy of the record? He's 90 yards away, which is very
according to Gio.
Yeah, and close to the receptions record. Yep, 14 away from that. Signing day in December sucks. Yeah, it kind of does these days because there may be a couple surprises here or there, or just guys that flip at the last minute. But for the most part, about 85 to 90% of these coaches' recruiting classes around the country are pretty much wrapped up at this time of the year now. A lot of that stuff just finishes up within the summer months. Hassan said, "Gio, if Cam Coleman from Auburn hits the portal, do you think Miami will go after him hard?" Who wouldn't? Tremendous talent for a receiver. Did happen to play in high school with Dalen Upshaw, so there is a connection there. But yeah, Howard Stern said, "Tony going to ask for $3 million next year, not a penny less." Yeah, he will be paid very well, and I know that Miami is very much prepared to compensate him. Juan Manuel, people keep forgetting Eddie Brown, who is arguably Miami's best receiver, Eddie Downtown Brown. He was really
Eddie
good.
Brown, yes, he is correct. He was the national championship game.
Him and Michael Irvin made it cool to wear jersey numbers in the 40s as a skill position.
Yeah.
I love that Michael Irvin story on the 47 when he said he wanted to be another number. I forget. What did he want to be 7 or something? And Jimmy said, "Are you kidding?" He says, 47. You're a 747. You're flying all over the place.
Trey Kendricks, all out of 10 if we make it. Robert Aureliola shared, was watching over at Twitter, but can't see no comments over there. Great job again, boys. Go Canes. Thank you for stopping by, Robert. Sergeant Major with a thumbs up. Hassan said, Brett, please make a crying emoji of Joey Galloway when Miami makes the playoffs. I would walk around all over Ohio State's campus wearing it.
I'm going to definitely work on that. If we make it, just remind me. And, that there'll be nothing better. His nice silver hair and gray hair and everything sticking out. That would be awesome.
Trey Kendricks, would y'all take Arch as a QB next year? I don't think he would leave from Texas.
No.
He's got a great situation over there. Robert Aurelia, Canes at Eugene against Oregon would feed generations of men in round 1. Yeah, absolutely. The storylines behind that just in itself.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Colorado Cane, my wife would never let me go to 12 games.
Well, you have something to shoot for.
Hassan said, Gio, with the Cal coach being fired, Justin Wilcox, do you think their QB hits the portal, and do you think Miami will go after him? I'm not sure if he would hit the portal. I'd have to find out more about that, exactly what's the dynamic there between quarterback and head coach, and just kind of how he ended up going back there, because he was originally committed to Cal, then he flipped to Oregon, and then he decided he wanted to go to Cal. So I got to look more into that. But Howard Stern shared here, Mendoza for the Heisman, Hialeah kid.
Did I, speaking of quarterbacks, did I see Darian Coleman does not have an interception this year? Was it
No, he doesn't have a single interception.
How many touchdowns did he throw? Over 20?
Yeah, he has like 24 touchdowns right now.
That's what I saw. Is that how uncommon? How common is that somebody throws over 20 touchdowns without one interception?
Only one guy in college this year was doing that. That was the Connecticut quarterback. That's it. Everyone else is throwing interceptions.
I mean, so I know we want to go for the guy, but you got Coleman and Nichols. It'll be interesting to see if one of the guys takes a step forward. Is Coleman coming in the spring?
Yes, he'll be here in spring.
All right, cool.
One man well put. There are receivers like Eddie Brown, Yatil Green, Wesley Carroll. Wesley Carroll is really underrated. Great.
Wesley Carroll is definitely. He was in the NFL as well. Wesley Carroll, wasn't he?
Yeah, Miami got him out of a JUCO, and they
yeah, Wesley Carroll, one of my favorite wide receivers. Leonard Hankerson.
Leonard Hankerson was really good.
You should have
I remember when Leonard Hankerson had to go outside of the program way back to get help from Mark Duper during the off seasons, and then Leonard became a heck of a receiver at Miami.
Wasn't he one of that group at Northwestern that was that Shannon took?
No. Leonard played at St. Thomas before he got to Miami. And then he put here, Eddie Brown rivals Michael Irvin and Andre for best ever at Miami. Yeah, Eddie Brown was really good. Actually, he was a tremendous special teams guy too.
Correct, yes.
I mean, I'm young, but I've watched plenty of tape from the old team, so he was a tremendous talent. One man well put. Wow, born in '95. I was trying to. Howard Stern said, I've never seen a defensive end being held like Ruben Bain. Yeah, there's tape of that every week.
Amazing how that is.
Hassan said, hey, fellas, something needs to be done with the ACC refs. We can't just complain to the ACC and nothing happens. Either they sue the ACC or just get NFL refs. I look at it like this. Get full-time refs. These guys are being put on as part-time. They're not being paid that much. So, I mean, sometimes in life they give the saying, you kind of pay for what you get. But
still, we don't complain at all. We send something in, like everybody sends for them to see and review. They don't review our stuff, and we don't care. We don't do anything. Nobody talks. We don't have an AD that talks about it. We don't have a coach that talks about it. Not that the squeaky wheel is going to get the grease, but you see Dabo talking about it. You see SMU talking about it. Other guys. We don't say anything about it, and we're the team that is taking advantage of the most. I mean, like that one guy did that Manny put out the thing that would by far the least amount of penalties against the other team that plays us. I mean, is anyone doing anything about this besides us screaming on social media?
Yeah.
Are there?
Well, had put in, they filed a complaint with the conference, which came shortly after the SMU game, but they had never received a response back about it. So.
It's like I'm complaining. Okay.
Shocking.
Exactly.
Juan Manuel put here. Okay. Players. Hold on. Canes Jones put, Mando, you better step your game up. Brett just brought up the 1980 salary of the Batman show. Preeclampsia of getting rid of someone. Just kidding, buddy.
Damn.
Juan Manuel put, flush the turd, Galloway away. Canes Jones, there's Mondo's wife conserving energy again, turning off the lights.
Oh yeah. Oh, he noticed that. My oldest son was there with that VR thing on, doing the virtual reality. He looks like a mime. He's like doing all this like crazy stuff. It's crazy.
That's funny.
818 Cali Candy.
That's funny, Canes Jones.
If we get snubbed this year, we should either cancel the game versus Notre Dame next year or play them during rivalry week at the end of the season. That way, there isn't a debate at all. I agree with this. When I brought it up some weeks ago, when I said that about, if Notre Dame ends up getting a net positive and Miami's on the outside looking in, that they should consider canceling the game. And as I asked people, I'm like, this is a serious question. What do you think? Several people agreed. Some old school fans said, oh, no, that's crazy talk. That's being scared or whatever. We should play them anyways. No. The only way I would say Miami should continue to play them is if it is a late season game. Because
I agree. I like a late season game.
Yeah. Because what? They're going to just get away with it again. And then, Notre Dame fans say, oh, no, but you guys lost to two unranked teams. That's why. And blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear that. They both have the same records. Yeah. They both have the same record. They could both finish 10-2. What is the difference between the two other than Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head? All they come back with, oh, you lost to two unranked teams. Well, guess what? One of those two unranked teams is now ranked. One of those two unranked teams could actually win the entire ACC.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we doing? What are we doing here?
Absolutely. And but as I say, true. Let's go ahead and rally to play in South Bend, Indiana, in November.
So right now, if Virginia and SMU win, are they both in the ACC championship game?
I believe so.
Okay.
Canes Jones put, so the committee says rivalry games would count more because it's up for grabs. Yet we played two rivalry games this year. Yep. The Florida and Florida State games. Wait, head-to-head doesn't matter either unless it's the other leagues. Yeah?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, South Florida's getting to be a rivalry game a little bit, but it's not. But it's Virginia Tech's a rivalry game.
Row from X shared biggest game for Mario could very possibly be so.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with that. I mean, we could always say that week to week, but a lot of narratives could be reflected either way, depending on the result of this game on Saturday.
Yeah, Canes Jones put here, you have to know the difference between saving a player from getting in the portal and force feeding a player. Also know you have to send the seniors off with tape to have the NFL see them unless it's hurting the team to play those players. Yeah. Howard Stern put, Mario stopped us. Such a coward coaching. Rowe put, Miami should get to Pitt early to practice in this weather. Yeah, I believe they're traveling there tomorrow, from what I understand.
Oh, really? Wow.
I believe they should be traveling tomorrow.
I'm glad they're going before Thanksgiving then.
Canes Jones put, there's not sleet coming after. So after the warm up, they will be fine. We have enough gear to fit the players, and the warming machines are on the way. Yep,
Good.
Miami does a really good job
So,
of
so
that.
that's interesting. They're heading up there tomorrow. Wow. Okay.
From what I understood, yeah, they should be heading out there tomorrow.
All right.
Lord Bakington put Jacoby Thomas, Catholic Scott have transformed his defense along with the D line. Linebacker play hasn't been stellar, but average to above average. I would agree with that assessment.
Yeah, and by the way, Thomas wasn't. I saw online that he wasn't nominated for the Thorpe Award. That's like insane to
That's
me.
crazy.
I mean, that's
How is he not?
wild.
It's politics.
Yes,
And
it
then
is.
he put here, I would love to see Wiley and Pruitt get more snaps. Yeah, I agree. I think even Pruitt, when he's come in, he's made some pretty consistent plays. He actually had a really nice stop on, I think it was like on a third down against Virginia Tech last weekend. It was really nice. Yeah. Lord Bacon's we beat Pitt convincingly. We're going to jump a spot or two. We got to get in the top 10 to make the playoff.
What is this with the number 11 thing that ESPN? They're still showing us at 11.
Yeah, it's confusing.
They just did the polls and they're showing us as an 11.
I had so many Miami fans argue with me about that when they first did that. They're like,
but why are they still doing it?
They said, "Oh, we're in," and I said, "No. What ESPN is doing is under like the idea that Miami wins the ACC,
but they're not even."
But they continuously to say Miami has very little chance.
I had people literally arguing with me saying, "Oh no, but we're in." I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" So I had to like explain out the rules and everything. They're like, "Oh."
I remember, but you did that, but it's still like they're still showing it right after the poll. Everybody else is exactly the same, except we're 11 and Tulane was 12 on one of them. I saw.
Yeah,
I'll be sort of soon.
You know what it is?
11 when they say we have to get an at-large bid, most likely
is to make their projected bracket look more sexy. That's why.
Yeah.
Just throw Miami in there; it'll make it look better.
Exactly. But
it'll
let's
make
not
it
get
look better.
a real poll.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think this offseason is going to be really interesting because I think a lot of conferences are going to strongly consider dropping their conference games.
Wow.
I believe that.
Like their conference championship.
Conference championship. Okay.
Yeah. Lord Bankington said, I want to be with the at large. We will get more rest. I agree with that.
Yeah, I just want to get in, period. I don't care how we get like whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get there.
Just get in. Chris Guns, I agree. It's 100% on your resume. Also, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Yep.
Exactly.
1 milligram of epinephrine said, let Malachi kick an extra point. He probably can.
There you go.
No doubt about it. Does a 2-pointer count in that, though? Is that a different way to score? You see, throw a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, but
you're throwing a 2-point conversion. You're scoring it, running a 2-point conversion. It opens up a whole. He scored 7 different ways.
Yeah.
1 milligram of epinephrine said, we need help. They aren't just moving us to 10 for beating Pitt. I agree.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 or 2 of those games have to go our way if we win. I mean,
there's so many games.
I mean, I may just have to bet a parlay on all those other teams to win outright on the money line, Mando. So we take those 5 or 6 teams on the money line, and then either way we win. If one of them loses, if not, you cash. That's actually a great idea.
Right now, for them not to get in, they would have to. If they lose, they're done. We know that. But if they win, Alabama would have to win the conference, right? Yeah. BYU would have to win the Big 12. Oklahoma's got to beat LSU. Ole Miss has got to win. So everything would have to fall in line for them not to make it if they win.
But this week alone, hard to imagine that all 6 teams that we want one of them to lose.
You're going to see an Auburn. You're going to see a Washington. Somebody's going to pull off a Texas. Texas can beat A&M. You're going to see somebody's going to win in one of those games.
The only thing we have against us is we're Miami.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's 12 o'clock and I got to be up in 4.5 hours. So tomorrow's going to be a long day with Thanksgiving prep, but happy Thanksgiving to both of you guys, to your families and everybody watching. Have a great, safe Thanksgiving and I really don't want to say this because I don't want to look past the holiday, but I'm so ready for Saturday. I want Saturday to get here so bad. Because this game is, somebody mentioned it a few moments ago. This game might be it's huge.
Yeah.
It can it's a big game for Mario. It's a big game.
Because the only two times that we got 10 wins, the Mark Richt year, we lost the last game to Pittsburgh. Last year, we lost the
Yeah.
last game to Syracuse, correct?
Yeah, well, then the
Yeah.
bowl game too. But
Yeah, but still, but the
I
last
personally,
game of the
I put an
we haven't
asterisk.
won.
I put an asterisk on that bowl game because if Cam Ward plays that entire game, Miami wins.
No, but we did. But Syracuse,
Yeah, not
Syracuse, right?
not making the play. Yeah, not making the playoffs. Not making the playoffs would stink. But obviously, if they win the last four, go in. And I'm not saying VT's great or anything, but if you win the last four, you win the last two on the road, and people have been talking scared about Pitt at the beginning of the season. I think a lot of some of the quote unquote heat will be off of Mario, and it would suck not to make it, but to win four in a row, and more importantly to me, your offense looks totally different than what we've been seeing, coaching wise and on the field wise. So
No, exactly.
even though that SMU game still pisses me off,
We
but
finished the season 10 wins on an upswing,
Yeah.
for the regular season. But Mando, so while you're eating turkey, you're going to be thankful for obviously your family, your blessings, your wonderful children, your lovely wife, the great podcast, and obviously and a Canes win.
and for winning a parlay every now and then.
And winning a parlay. Right. Mando is the parlay king. When he hits him, he just takes him for granted, just moves right on. He sends me all his winners.
There you go. Never the losers. Never the
I don't know.
losers.
This guy's 100% of the time. I get all the winners. I mean,
This guy ever lose?
unbelievable. I tell my friend, this guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna clock out. Hey,
All right, Mando. Good night,
Yeah.
buddy. Have a good one.
Hey,
Take care, brother.
happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right,
You too. So, Cowboy fan shared here. Oh, we had a Dallas Cowboy fan. He said
All
hello.
right.
We had an Ohio State fan pass
Ohio
by.
State fan. That's not my wife.
OSU 25. He said, "You guys need to obliterate Pitt. It will be much tougher for them to leave y'all out."
Thank you. I agree. We only hope so. We need you guys, OSU, to obliterate or Bears to at least beat Michigan.
Yeah.
Can't believe I'm saying that.
Howard Stern shared, "If we would have been undefeated, Malachi Tony would have been in New York as a Heisman finalist." Yeah, I think there could possibly be an argument about that. Gabriel Rada said, "Damn, just got home. You guys are still talking." James Jones said, "Funny how the ACC is a bad conference, yet ND plays mostly ACC opponents. Make that sense." Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
And they've only played the bad opponents this year, except for
Yeah,
us.
they just played most of the bottom dwellers. When I said that on social media, their fans went crazy.
I didn't like that.
1 milligram of epinephrine. Neither team has a rival to play rivalry week. So either slot Notre Dame for that week or FM. Yep, I agree. They have nothing pre-scheduled.
That would be an amazing rivalry week, but we're not.
Yeah.
I mean, just put us there every year to play them I would love that.
Hassan put here, Gio, why does it seem like Miami always loses out on top recruits? Like they were leading for Fitzpatrick or Stewart. Then when Georgia offers them, then Miami comes after that. Well, the thing on Fitzpatrick, I would never really classify it as Miami ever truly like leading. Just more so times where there was sentiment around people with that recruitment that they thought that Miami had a really good chance of getting it done. However, on Stewart, you do have a point there, and it's unfortunate. And sometimes I think it's also this running sentiment with just South Florida compared to other states like your Louisianas or Georgias. When those kids get that local offer, it's like they respect it more. And they don't care if it comes in at the 11th hour. A good chunk of them hop on that offer and they stick with the hometown team. It's tough because there's several times that Miami came really close to getting Blake Stewart. 1 milligram of epinephrine. Miami doesn't always lose out on top recruits. Yeah, I wouldn't say they always lose out. They've won their very fair share of battles since Mario.
Absolutely. I think we're doing well. Just when you think there's no comments, it clicks again. We're going to do a couple more comments. What do we got there, Gio?
It's about like 5 more comments here. Epinephrine said, please don't tell me they're putting the heaters on the sidelines. Bad idea. We want the team to freeze out there, right?
The other team. I agree with King Jones on this one.
Let's see. 818 Calicane said, in the 4 years Mario's been here, is Saturday one of his most important games of his coaching career overall? At least at Miami, yes, absolutely. And we'll finish off with Canes Jones' question. Canes Jones, very good friend of CanesWear. Kick Notre Dame out of the football schedule and then threaten to kick them out of basketball since next year we go to 9 conference games. $10 million to cancel. We have that amount in the petty cash. I agree. I see Canes Jones taking my side on this battle that I've been trying to put forth. That what's the point in playing them at the beginning of a season if it's just going to be a net positive for them at the end? It should matter. It should absolutely matter. So you know what? Move it to the end of the year, one of the last few games of the season, or just cancel it outright.
I think he's also referring to kick them out of the ACC.
Yeah, because Notre Dame's in the ACC partially. Like they'll have their basketball program in, but oh no, we don't want our football program in, even though half their schedule is ACC.
Correct. If they kick them out and they want to be in this thing so they could be in the ACC basketball, just like we did. Yeah. They want to be. They don't care about the football. They want to be in there for the basketball. So that's a lot of money. Basketball is big. The ACC considered one of the top conferences. I mean, you got to say you got to either make a decision, get off the pot, and they got that TV money. They can make that too. Rewrite the ACC contract if they're going to go with more than 2 conferences. Rewrite the ACC contract to let Notre Dame still get their money. So figure it out, and then you go. I don't know how long they have with NBC on their contract, but make it happen. Then give these teams stacking order on their how they do, and maybe every year you get whoever does better in the conference gets more money. That's what all these conferences should do. Yeah. But the ACC, listen, if you do well, you're spending NIL money, you're producing, you're doing, and you consider not only you have something, not only is your win record, it's how you do in the ratings. The ratings is key. So obviously Notre Dame gets more money in the ratings. They get more money. Miami gets more money. Miami should not be getting the same money in football as Duke, but Duke maybe should be getting more money than Miami in basketball. And they can figure out some kind of formula so teams make more money. Let's face it, the SEC, Vanderbilt should not get the same money as Alabama in the SEC because they don't do the TV, they don't do the ratings. So they can put that all together, make it happen. I mean, maybe I'll just retire in 20 years and run the ACC. 20 years. It's going to be – maybe if the Canes win actually more than a bowl game or 2, maybe. Anyway, great show, Gio. Great, fantastic show. We got to go ahead and win this week. It's all about winning this week, and that's key. If we can close out this season with 4 straight wins, that'll be exactly what Mark Richt did in 2017. He finished the season after 4 wins, 4 losses, then 4 wins, then a bowl. If Mario can win this game against Pittsburgh, then if we get in the playoffs, win a game, I think everybody would be happy to be in the playoffs, disappointed if we lost in the first round.
Yeah.
So I think people feel that we can win it all if we get in. And I think that we can play with anybody. I don't think anybody is going to be a big favorite over us that we play in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't envision that.
Yeah. So the point is just get in, just win. This is going to be an exciting week. Once again, thank you to FTSN for being putting this together. Thank you for Bobby and team. Like and subscribe. They got a lot of great shows. Sponsored by CanesWear, the Spot Miami Fan Shop. Right now we have 20% off tomorrow. Thursday and Friday we will have our Black Friday special. Possibly going to be a 20, 40, 60 sale. A lot of Canes merchandise. Not everything will be 40% off. There will be some 60% off. A lot of great things are going to be happening this weekend. Thanksgiving, everyone. Be blessed that we can enjoy these conversations. Be blessed that we can be part of this. There's a lot of people that can't be part of things like this. And win or lose, be happy where we're at. Obviously, winning is a lot better. But the fact that we get to enjoy, we get to be part of this excitement and this energy. We get to talk on these podcasts. You get to listen. You get to interact. That's a great thing. It's a great opportunity for us all. I'll say some closing words. Gio, what are your closing thoughts? And tell people where they can see you this week.
Yeah, closing thoughts is just win and let the rest of the chaos handle itself. There's only so much that Miami can control. Back-to-back 10-win seasons is an accomplishment for the program, and definitely in some ways. Obviously, it wouldn't be the entire goal. You want ACC or getting in the playoff, but you know what? Sometimes you have to make the most of certain situations. It would suck if it played out that way, but still a lot of football to be played with 2 more weeks, and definitely more things can happen. Miami just needs 1 out of 5 scenarios to play out already to be right on that bubble of getting in. So it's very possible. So we'll see how that plays out. And everyone could follow me on X at Gio Milian. You could always find me on here on the CanesWear podcast. Was just on Locked on Canes yesterday in the morning, on Monday morning with Alex Dono. Talked plenty of things there, recruiting and whatnot, the ACC scenarios and everything. And I'll possibly have like another appearance or 2 as well this week. I'm just kind of working around the schedule because I'm on vacation right now, but trying to do everything as possible.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Gio. And remember about that, like Gio said, I mean, goal is 10-2 during the regular season. At a worst, it would be 11 wins if we don't get in, which I do believe we will get in if we go 10-2. But winning a game and getting 11 wins, we haven't had 11 wins in a long time, correct? I don't think we've had 11 wins since 2002 or 2003. Or was it
11 wins would be the 2002 season because
so that's amazing. The 11th win we've not got. So if Mario can get that 11th win, and that would be if we don't make the playoffs, winning the bowl game, it would be a major disappointment to everybody. There are worse things than going 11-2 at the end of the season. So, but if you remember in 2000, Gio,
2003 was the last team to win 11
games. 2000, we were not that good before. 2000, we lost that game. We lost to Washington on the second game of the season. They gave Florida State we ran the table. They gave Florida State the game against Oklahoma. We should have been playing for the national championship. The next year we come back, we win the national championship. 86, we're the most dominating team in college football. We lose to Penn State. We should have won. 87, we come back and win it all. But what I'm saying is we sometimes get ripped off, but we just got to do what we can on the field, and everything will take next year will be bigger and better. So as Canes fans, if we win this game, we have a lot more to look forward to for next year than we've had at any time in the past several years. Hopefully we win. Some of these teams lose. Maybe we get in the ACC championship game. Maybe we just get in the playoffs. Either way, this has a chance to still be the best season we've had in over 20 years. Several things can happen. So we're thankful for you to be part of the show. I'm thankful for you being in our lives. Thankful for all of our great customers at CanesWear. Wishing you and your family a happy, healthy Thanksgiving. And we look forward to seeing you soon. If anyone has any questions or comments or anything, they can always send a message to Gio or myself. I guess that's it, Gio. Go Canes. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend will be a heck of a lot brighter if the Canes get their 10th win of the season.
Happy Thanksgiving and go Canes.
Go Canes. We'll see you soon.